It's going down like this, motherfucker.
This shit is crazy. The following
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was horn. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
I just left a lot in this bitch. I'm finna hit the shop in this shit.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with her man. Now her mind is fucked.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with her man. Now her mind is fucked.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm trying to told you just with her man. Now her mind is fucked. God.
Well, gotta get a piece of mind. Sometimes I a little like magic. Said it feels like magic.
Joe feet. He looked down, seen her feet. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey. Threw the bat out the window. Start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am, chilling.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply. You know?
Dance with me. Oh yeah, everybody move.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
rest of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama, and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it? Your shit.
Get your hands off of me, shit!
I think we OD. I think we OD.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass.
My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard. That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is. Doing the styles on them like it's common sense. Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loop juice, it pulls up in the deuce. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I'm coming. I hit the loop juice, it pulls up in the deuce.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
You have got a ripstop stretch fabric in the outer, a soft 4-ounce flannel lining, and then you've got a dry wax on the outer, so water repellent, everything you love about the foundations of a hardware and wax jacket, but modernized with extra.
To the east, to the Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, I guess that means I should come in. Greetings, everyone. I saw brother PJ Allen. I've been running to him all day. You know, we've been I support people. That's one thing you can say that I do. I support people. So what's up, PJ Allen? Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. Brother James Gant, thank you for coming in. Jamar 3224, thank you for coming in. L Reborn, Amaru Khan, I appreciate it. Dr. Sinister, thank you for coming in. Brad Saddlefield, thank you for coming in. And I think Jamar 3224, thank you for coming in. And as my mouth gets drier, it's time to, how I normally do it. Ooh, yeah, this is the colder of the two. I might drink I'm gonna drink this one now. So I switched up tonight. I got the shit delivered. I did something, hit something. I got the shit delivered. So they gave me my homeboy's beer from Kalamazoo. This is a Kalamazoo, it's a Bomberon Eclipse. Now I think what they did, and maybe they can prove me wrong, but this is a wheat ale. But it is a citrus wheat ale. Now, very common, but Arcadia Brewery used to make something that tastes a little better than this, and it seems like they kind of copied Arcadia Brewery. Maybe they had their beer longer. I don't think they did, but so pop them if you got them. And again, this is unfiltered beer. If you don't know what unfiltered beer looks like, this is unfiltered. That's why it looks like that. And smoke them if you want them. I'm gummied up. You guys might see me phase in and out tonight. I mean, I might get to vibrating so high tonight, you just might not know. So, you just might not know. What is this? No, is this? Nah, we ain't gonna start with him. Let's see. I got another death leading up to the Super Bowl. I got another death. We got a guy named Seiji, so Ziji Ozawi. He died at 88. He was a conductor in America, American conductor. So that makes number 33. And if we go into days, that's what was, let me see, I just found another one right here. Now, this is somebody I'd never heard of before. Maybe, is that the phone? My daughter. What is my daughter still doing up? She could just come in the room and talk to me, but she's dinging me. I didn't know about this person, and so maybe y'all knew about it, but it says Damo Zuki, the Japanese singer who served as vocalist for the Krautrock Rock Legends, has died at the age of 74. Now, I'm just guessing that with that name, Damo, and I'm looking, is that Damo? Is that Damo? This must be Damo in the front. Oh, it's a German band. Suzuki's death on social media caused profound. Suzuki had been battling colon cancer for a decade, and it's revealed that they was pretty given a 10% chance of survival. The German band, and it's with great sadness that we have announced the passing of a wonderful friend, Damo Suzaki, on the 9th. His boundless creative energy touched many over the whole world, not just with the con, but with it all. So this is who the brother was. The band added, what did they officially join the first period in the soundtrack, Turn the Light Off. So if you want to see them sing, you can see him sing right here. I don't want to hear him. His first two albums, Freeform Delivery and Seemingly Stream Conscious Lyrics, for example. So this is the guy that, he took a drink from the beast's glass, so he has to pay. Let's see, because I only had those two. Hey PJ, did you get those? What came out? I got the thing, the Jordan, the Carolina Jordan. What is that? See if they show up because they came out. Oh, but I was saying, I support people. I really do. I really do try to go in, support people, comment if I'm not doing nothing. A lot of times, I'm a super hyper guy. So, I am reading. I got a game going on. I got somebody, my wife trying to talk to me. So I've always, and I'm listening to somebody and I might be reading all at the same time. So that's kind of how I do it. Now let's see. But that's all I think so far. Again, we won't call it the Mount over, and really because what they've showed us is that they can do it, that they can keep taking people out up until after the game. So we have to take, after the game, we have to take in the whole 24-hour period. So let's see. And that might be it. That might be it. We're up to 34 that we can say. And so, before I go off, I'll go over each and everybody who I remember. But yeah, that looks like that's the only one. So that's cool. That is cool. Looks like that's all the blood that they needed. So, some college football player died. He was 22, didn't get his name. Okay. Let's see. No, this is old. This is old. I know it's not that. That's old. Let's see. Damn. Is this? That's old. Maybe this is it. Let's see. Or is this old? Yeah, this is new. This is what he's talking about right here. Yeah, right here. Found it. Thank you. Thank you, James. We got to write this cat's name down. His name is Bryce 35. Bryce Stanfield. And he was... So college football player died after 21 after collapsing during Wednesday's workout. He was 21. College football. Oh. Yeah, and let me see. Okay, defensive tackle, Furman. He played for the Furman. Okay, looks on during, okay. 2 days after collapsing during a workout at the school's football stadium, he was 21. He was 21. His death came just 2 days after he collapsed during the team workout. The 21-year-old, surrounded by his family and the Furman family, according to a report, he suffered a medical emergency during the Plandon's, what is that? Oh, that must be the mascot name. Wednesday morning workout and was rushed to a local hospital where he's placed on life support. Furman coach said in a statement the program is heartbroken beyond measure. He asked that everyone, they're not telling you much. And their family he was 6'2", 268. Okay. Probably a defensive tackle or offensive. Probably defense. He had 49 tackles, and 7 sacks across his career. He was a 2-time Southern academic. Oh, wow. It's, this is like so telling you nothing. Like what happened during the workout to make him, wow. I ain't going to say it, but y'all know, 21-year-old. 6'2", 268 of muscle. Look at him. This ain't no little dude. This dude arms, look how big his arms are. And I'm gonna say, he didn't really get a full drink of the Beast Cup. He only got to look at it. And I don't even think he got but they take him. They take him. Thank you for that one. I appreciate it. I didn't get the 13s. I reached back and ordered those white and yellow ones, 6s though. I have a lot of 13s. Okay, yeah, I didn't get them either. I had made and them yellow ones, them wheat ones, they got plenty of them. But yeah, I didn't get them either. I don't need any more shoes. I really don't need any more shoes. So I'm kind of like, I'm gonna take a break from buying shoes. I don't really need any more. Like they're all pretty new. But definitely thank you for that one, James. I appreciate it. Yeah, this brother passed. So the beast is active. And like I said, that brother only got to look at it, but they feel they feel that they own everybody, and it's how else? They might as well hit him with you. Well, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it over here, but yeah. That's exactly right. They that seems to be like what happens. And I don't know if it's wrong to say, didn't that happen to Brownie? And they was able to, help him out. Same thing kind of happened to Brownie, and they was able to help him out. So what happened? Why they couldn't help this guy out? I don't know if this is funny or not. It says this teen wears a size 33 shoe. It stopped him from living a normal life. Okay, let's follow this story and see where it takes us. When Joel Bolden was born, his feet were so big that his mother couldn't find a baby shoe to fit him. He wore only socks on his feet during his first few months of his life. Now 16, he wears a size 23 wide shoe and has one pair of shoes that his family found on eBay. The shoes are pretty tight now, making it hard for him to get out and have fun. Finding shoes. So this boy is 6'5". Okay, fine. And he's 380, almost 400 pounds. It's quite a task, his mother told him. We're doing the 22s, but they're small. Who lives in Independence, Missouri, about 10 miles out of. Shaq called Michigan teen was okay. I remember Shaq gave a boy a big pair of shoes. Teenager would love to be able to wear Jordans, but not doing the size. The teen said he struggles to find shoes, not torture. Really wanted to see a movie. I hate to say it. He is going to have to get some custom made shoes. He was born 7 pounds, 14 ounces, 21 inches. He had pretty big feet right away. We could not find baby shoes. Oh my goodness, like they really had to pose. Okay. You could get him like them Eskimo shoes. I think you could get him Eskimo shoes. You guys know what Eskimo shoes are. I'm sure they're at least a 25, and like just get like where he can just stick his foot in the Eskimo shoes and he can wear the Eskimo shoes around all the time. Just stick your foot in them and he'd be ready. Okay, I'm sorry. I got carried away there. But that was just the idea I was thinking. As he got older, it got a little easier. He had cousins that, could get hand-me-downs. Probably the first 6 years of life I didn't have to worry about because my niece and nephews took care of that. It wasn't until about 11 that finding shoes was an issue. He wore a 10 or 11 in men's. What's next for him? They started a GoFundMe, and this Friday the family has raised 10 grand. Get some custom-made shoes. They've been talking to local business. Not the first size 23 struggling. Comfortable footwear hackers back to Michigan teen who had a similar struggle and had to get Shaq. Eric Kilborn had size 23 season ruined by sprained ankle. His mother would begin search for comfortable shoes. The family searched the 7-foot and Neo companies like Under Armour and Puma. After a fairly lengthy process, Under Armour donated a pair of custom, and 2 pairs of slip away for training shoes. 2 pairs of slip speeds for training shoes. You see, so that's what it's gonna. They're gonna have to, get some specialized shoes. They got all that bread, and let's hope it's not a scam and get a boy the shoes. But you can get anything made, and you can get custom shoes made. So, um, how's everybody's weekend? How's everybody's Saturday? I know that everybody's prepping and stuff. My prepping is at the store. I'm buying shit at the store. That's my prepping. My daughter's she's all hyped up. She's all hyped up about the Super Bowl. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, ain't what I'm looking for. And it's funny. Like I've watched every Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl, because I want to say the first Super Bowl was actually in '67. I think the first one was the '66 season in '67, because Joe Namath was, I think, '69. But anyway, I watched them all. And I watched one of them, the Cowboys one. I had to watch some of it at the hospital because I broke my hand. I've told that story before. I broke my hand, so I had to watch it from the hospital. In the hospital, because somebody took my legs out. I went to block a shot, and somebody took my legs out, and I caught myself. Yeah, and then had a hoop game and like scored 18 points left-handed. And after the game, the dude saw me, slip my cast back on. He's like, man. Yeah, scored 18. I think we have another one. I don't think I have this one. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so this is number 36. Let me see though. Let me see. When did he? Because it's like makes you wonder when there's cats. So not when, because sometimes they be trying to, but they just report it now. Like, when is this cat? They're just reporting it now. Okay, they're just reporting it now, but this cat, and I know a lot of y'all don't know who Johnny Carson was and shit, but he was Hank Bradford, so he'd be number 36. And Hank worked for Johnny Carson and Tonight Show. I wonder if he worked for, probably a little too old to work for Hank Bradford. So he's all up in, 88, Tonight Show writer. Tonight Show writer. So he wrote them stale jokes for Johnny. All right, Hank Bradford, head writer for The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson in the Late Show starring Joan Rivers, died January 18th. So he actually died last month. But you see how they're reporting it now? They're reporting it now because this was reported 13 hours ago. But he actually died last month. But they're trying to get that energy from it. Okay. I say we probably won't go with that one. He died last month. That is not within the Super Bowl, but now they report it. So, they want it part of the ritual. That's why they report it. They wouldn't report it if it wasn't. They try to make it part of the ritual. Oh, yeah. Let's see how this money's doing, y'all. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? I'll let everybody see it. I don't think there's anybody can look on here and take anything from me. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see where gold is. Okay. When I was on here last, gold was at 48, I think. And so gold has lost 0.45%, $9. Yeah, because you put that, about $9.20. So still not bad. Still over $2,000. So still over $2,000. So your gold that you're wearing is worth still over $2,000 an ounce. Bitcoin's at 48, so Bitcoin is up. Yeah, it was 46-ish, I thought. I saw Ethereum somewhere on here. Was it over here? Where was Ethereum at? Up here. What's Ethereum hitting? And Ethereum is at 2,500. So, I'm gonna just tell you, like, you got 401ks, pension, whatever. See how it's invested, especially if you got 401k. My girl will tell you, my wife, yeah, I looked at her stuff and I was like, I think we should, look that stuff up and say, this is what we probably should be into right here. And it hit. So I pay attention to this stuff. But if you have any kind of jewelry, you definitely should pay attention to it. And like it's times, if you want to upgrade to get jewelry, it's times to upgrade. Because again, if you're trying to buy more jewelry, you see you're upgrading. So it's a good time to upgrade. Okay. What did he say here? Steelers, Mel Blount thinks breaking Bob Trumpy's jaw was the final straw that prompted him the rule change. Let's check this out. The Pittsburgh Steelers were the dominant team of the 70s. It was a decade that saw multiple dynasties emerge. Don Shula's perfect Miami Dolphins, who won 2 Super Bowls. I think them and the Dolphins are them and the Patriots. Tom Landry's Cowboys appeared 5 of the first 13. Were contenders for the decade title. The Steelers are dominant the decade with 4 championships in 6 seasons. They secured the title by beating the Cowboys, 2 of the most exciting Super Bowl. Jackie Smith dropped one on purpose. On Wednesday, one of those stars teams joined and says these goodbyes. Ron Cook, the longtime writer, former host of the Rothenberg Show, appeared in the show this week, who has arranged. We played in 77 against the Bengals in Pittsburgh, Blunt recalls. Bob Trumpy, who was the tight end, came out into the flat. Ken Anderson throws the ball. I react to the ball and unintentionally broke his jaw. We collided, and unfortunately, he got hurt. The play later, Isaac Curtis was trying to get off the line of scrimmage, so I was jamming him, and he couldn't get off the scrimmage. In the meantime, Paul Brown was on the competition committee. Bob Trumpy was go on fame as Don Crickey's analysis for NBC. Again, if you follow football for that long, you know who Don Trumpy is. But 77, no such thing as defensive receiver, no limit to the contact between the pass to where the pass was thrown. Paul Brown was very influential in the history of football and was not pleased with what he was seeing. The former champion, winning coach and owner decided to make trouble for the Steelers' legendary. And don't forget the Raiders. And don't forget, the Darryl Stingley hit. This is around the time of Darryl Stingley got hurt, too. And, I mean, Darryl Stingley was a clean, dirty hit. And, if you think that after Darryl Stingley that Jack Tatum would quit making those kind of hits, no. When he hit Sammy Smith, he hit Sammy Smith in the Super Bowl. It was the same exact kind of hit. He knocked Sammy Smith's helmet off. So it's like, I think it was really allowed, Unfortunate as it was for Darryl Stingley, I kind of think it was allowed. That's the old football. Oh, I'd be interested to see that. Oh my, I might have to go do my therapy. So rules were a little different. I'm sorry, I'm not looking up. 49ers or Chiefs. I got the Niners. I'm staying with the Niners. Some kind. Okay. No, I didn't get the 13. Okay, I read that. Hit him with the heart. Yeah. How the hell your foot get that big? Yeah, that's a good point. Real big foot. That's funny. 3 times my size. I can wear 14s, but damn, I can't wear that big. I knew another dude. What was his name? Igor. Igor was like that. Igor wore about 18, 19. And what was his name? It was a big fella from Memphis State. Damn. And it wasn't Keith Lee. It was another dude. What was his name? But he ended up giving Igor some shoes because Igor didn't, Igor was in and out of jail, but he was 6'6", about 360. Like a hoop. I mean, maybe not even 360, but let's see. Big Patty, I got the C jersey on that would wow, because the last car I saw behind me before I got home license plates. And this is the real one. Like, these is real. Like, this is the real jersey. Where is this shit at? Real hockey jerseys got the shit for the pants. Where is this shit at? Damn, it's in here, but this is real jersey. This got to wear the hooks in the pants. Yeah, here this shit is. See that shit? This is a real jersey. That's how you connect to the pants. Yeah, oh, and my number is 19. That's my favorite number. That was my football number. So, it was natural to get 19. Yeah, it was natural to get 19. Yeah, Royal Bill, what's happening? But Don Juan, Marco, thank you for joining. But yeah, Bitcoin should go up a lot this time around. Bitcoin should go up a lot. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's been pretty steady. When you could have got it for shit, it hit 6. Motherfuckers could have jumped on it. Seems like all about 13 and Warriors score 113. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's right. Kittle got good numbers to score. Purdy, I think last I saw he was plus 222 to be MVP. Yeah. I'll tell you, Kelsey was down to 1,200 to be MVP. And I mean, that's the lick. But it's like, what's the odds, that he'll be the MVP? I see that scenario, but it also seems like that scenario could be a sucker bet. So that's kind of my only pause. To think, to say, that the Chiefs can do it and that Kelsey will be the MVP. And they can pick somebody out of anywhere. Remember Timmy Smith? Y'all remember Timmy Smith? That's right. Y'all don't know. Timmy Smith set a Super Bowl record. He set a Super Bowl record for running the most yards, and I think he was Doug Williams. He was on that Doug Williams team. Timmy Smith was his name. Next year he wasn't nothing. Not even like he was nothing. Like that was his one shining moment, as they call it. The one shining moment was Timmy Smith had the Super Bowl. That's all he had. The rest of his career wasn't any good. Not like Dwayne Thomas. Dwayne Thomas had a good season when they lost the Super Bowl. People forget that fumble Super Bowl, where they had the tip ball, but it was 6-7 fumbles. It was like 6-7 turnovers between the team. I think each team had 4 or 5, where the defensive player got the MVP. But Dwayne Thomas played on that one, and then he played on the championship team too. He played when the Cowboys beat the Dolphins. Dwayne Thomas played. So he had a longer career than that Timmy Smith, but again, he had a short career. He lost the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. Timmy Smith just had that one Super Bowl. So, and you never heard of him since, So they got the rules changed. Yeah, it was unfair. The memory of beating Blood delivered to Cowboys Drew Pearson the Super Bowl still fresh in the mind of the beating that he put on Drew Pearson. Yeah, it was almost unfair advantage for the Steelers. It kind of was. Because check this out, the old rules was, the hit and run. So think about how unfair, like it used to be really unfair football. Like the way I was taught, football was unfair for the offense in a lot of ways. Because I think they didn't take the head slap away. Shit, I think my whole career we could still head slap. You could still head slap somebody. On offense, you could slap the defensive dude head. It was nothing wrong. It was that was still, but the disadvantage of like receivers used to be what they called the sprinter stance. All right, and the dude is pressing you. He already standing up. You understand? He's already standing up. So not only do you want to stay low, but you got to stay low and shoot out, and you got to juke this mug at the same time. So you got to stand up, stay low, try to juke, and then try to get to full speed while the dude is hitting you the whole time. Even back then you couldn't hold, but you could arm fight. You can arm fight. You could arm fight the whole way. Oh, that's what I needed. Where'd it go? So you could arm fight. I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. This? I still didn't give me one. So you could iron fight. So it was a disadvantage. So, and it's Daryl Stingley is a prime example of why, you can't just let them just kill the receivers. So as the Steelers were 2 years removed from back-to-back victories in the Super Bowl, when the NFL instituted change, the Steelers were obviously angry. The Raiders probably too, because the Raiders was more dirtier than the Steelers. Jack Tatum and George Atkinson, shoot, they knocked Glenn Swan out. Let me see. So Steelers, the team stormed through the regular season, 14 out of 16. And let's see. Pittsburgh allowed 1 touchdown. So it changed the rules, but it was unfair. It was unfair. And I mean, as much as people do like to see people get hurt, they don't want to see people get, careers ruined. I think, did I get, what is this? I didn't, let me see. Damn, what is this? 2 dead after private jet carrying 5 lands on Florida interstate and hits a vehicle. Damn, private jet. He's a no driving motherfucker. Oh no, this was not what I was looking for. I'm sorry, something caught my eye. Is this that? Huh. I don't think I have this guy. When is this from? Let's see. When? Because this comes from a day ago. Oh. So when did this? Okay, I'm trying to see what they're, okay, so this has to be recent. Where is this? So, is this today or yesterday? Yeah, so we'll definitely count this one. So this would be really 36. I ain't counting that last one. I think this has to be recent. Let's see. This appears to be recent. Again, it's very vague. Okay. Check this out. This is supposedly fairly recent. Crew member dies on the set of Wonder Man. And they call him J.C. Spike. He is working on the set of a movie in some kind of way. Marvel movie. They don't even tell you how old he is. Let's see. He also was electric department, worked as a production, Dark Tower, Ant-Man, Wasp. Recently, Project Wonder Man focused on Simon Williams, stuntman turned superhero. There was no filming Tuesday, but the crew was working. So it doesn't really tell you. It doesn't tell you how old he is. Wow. So he got killed in production. Yeah, they don't even, you dig this? They don't even tell you how old this cat is. J.C. Spike. Wonder Man. Wonder Man electrician. So we add him to the mix, which he would be 36. Rod Sherman, Andy Brandy. Sherman died. Okay, Rod. February 8th. Okay, so we'll count him too. Rod Sherman. All right. Let's get him in there. Yeah, this is all right. Here we go. And what position did he play? So he was a Bronco, so this would be 37. Former Broncos, Rod. So he played in the AFL probably. Sherman. He was 79. This dude, they didn't tell how old he was. Bronco. Okay, former Bronco. What position? Wait, did we get him? Yeah, I think we got him already. Rod Sherman, I think I got him already. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Ain't trying to double up on names. Okay, I don't. Because, let's see. No, I don't have him. All right. Nope. All right, we will add him. He'll stay in that spot. Bronco. All right, who was this mug? Las Vegas. Sherman was drafted by Baltimore Colts in '66, but chose to start his career with Oakland, who picked him the first round of the AFL draft. Probably gave more money. He won an AFL title. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I got him on here. I got him. Yeah, I think I got him. I thought I read this already. I really thought I got him. Let me see. Again. I remember the story, but maybe not. I'll double check later. But so he had, let's see, his best years was 72 was his best year. He played just one season in Denver, but was the best of his career. He posted highs in receptions, 38, receiving, wow, with only 38 catches, he had that many yards, and he had 3 TDs. He spent the final year of his career with the Rams before retiring in his career with 105 receptions and 5 TDs. All right. Now, who else did you say? Andy Brandy. So February 8th, yeah, we got Sherman. Sherman was the USC too? Okay. USC. Thank you. And so who's the other one? Andy Brandy. Okay, I like that. Let's see. It's showing a different picture. Okay. Here we go. We got Andy Brandy. I like that. So this would make 39. Andy Brandy. He was 72. College coach. Tennis coach. Tennis college coach. Okay, Florida women's tennis coach and Andy Brandy, whose teams had a winning percentage over 17 seasons and won 3 national titles. Wow. They said he died Thursday following an illness. He won 14 Southeast Conference regular season titles, 10 tournament crowns, and captured national title in 92, 96, and 98. Simply put, Andy was a winner in every sense of the way. The athletic director, he retired in 01 with a record of 460 and 43. He's in the School Hall of Fame. He came out of retirement in 17 to co-coach the LSU men's team for 5 seasons. He was born in Puerto Rico. In 52, attended Trinity College in San Jose, where he played the men's tennis team and turned to coaching after graduating with a business degree. He was with the AIMG, I was about to say academy before even I read it, at age 33. Survived by his wife. All right. So, thank you for that. You think it ain't weird that Myles Garrett and Kobe look so much alike and they have the same exact teeth? Well, I've heard many people, well, I'm not going to say many, but there is a group of people that try to say that's him. And I've said this from jump. Even before Kobe died, I said this. And I think, when Kobe died, it was the other channel. Yeah, because when Kobe died, I called Sly, and he went live. He said he went live. I didn't go live, but I called him to ask him. And but even before that, even before he died, I thought that I think Kobe is Okogie, Josh Okogie. I've said that for a long time. I've looked in Josh Okogie's eyes, and I looked in Kobe's eyes, and it seemed like it was the same cat to me. And I've said that before, that they switched. So, but a lot of people, match those two up, and there is a resemblance, but not quite as broad, I would say. I mean, anybody can beef up, but not quite as broad. So, but yeah, it's equal. And what do you say? Myles wins Defensive Player of the Year same day Kobe statue goes up. That was interesting. Yeah, 38. Crashes in LA with 5, what was this? Crashes in LA with 5 Marines before Kobe statue. And we lost 3 off of a ship, remember? And then one, and then don't forget 3, 3 soul people got hit with bombs, outside the ship. They got hit with bombs. Same pose. He has crashed in LA, 5 Marines for Kobe statue. Same poses as the 81 game, this 666 game. Only one of his grandmothers attended ever. And the pose is as above, so below. So it's the Baphomet pose. Raiders player Kyle Weathers passed away, wore 49, went to school. Yeah, we talked about that. Did you see Miles hooping? The dunks, like, yeah, I did catch a couple of that when he was in high school. They probably used the same DNA pattern with Garrett, Okogie, and Kobe. That's a good possibility too. It did seem like that soul was still there, and it's like, I mean, I ain't just come out because when I saw him, I was like, oh shit, this is what they done switched these dudes. When I was that close. I had good seats. I used to have good seats. I've sat all around that motherfucker, and it was one of the times I had good seats, and I was close enough to him to kind of check him out. I can't put my finger on the PJ Allen. Why does it keep doing this? We don't need it right now. So that's been my thought about what happened. And like the gamers, like the only reason I found out so early because the gamers was the first to find out. The people that was gaming it, they got that news out first. When it happened where I was, I mean that was early when it came out. Excuse me. So Donovan Mitchell and his opinion on up and coming players. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it out again. So what do we want to break down? All right. Let's see. I think I got a breakdown here. 49ers. Okay. Let me see if I can get some sets here. Okay. Let me see if I can get some sets here.
It's late. Do you think we could get some boba?
What's boba? What is this?
Who knows?
Yeah, I can use this.
Drive.
Especially
some say we're born.
That might be really.
Some say it lies within Jennifer's purse. Liquid IV powder delivers rapid hydration with 3 times the electrolytes and 0 sugar. Liquid IV, real hydrating.
All right, let's see if I can.
I think early on.
All right. All right, here we go. All right, now, all year, what we saw when Detroit pretty much ran this, Detroit was pretty much coming from a straight run set. Again, they're trying to overstack really here, especially if he blocks here, he blocks here. You kind of see what they're doing, but they were so flexible that all year they could go to either side. It was interesting the way they played this. Now, what they did is they stayed in all their gaps. You see what I'm saying? Despite them, running a tight set, instead of them adjusting to this by bringing their guys up and, bringing the safety up, all they really did is, they turned into what would be a 5-3, technically a 5-3. Or no, they hit it with 4. So, yeah. So they hit it with 4. So this is their normal set. This is how they attacked it all day. And as you see, you see the lanes right here that they all are good at attacking. And they're true to no matter. Now, what I love about what you're going to see and what you're going to see tomorrow, look at how they attack this you can see they've all got these lanes. And look at how deep the line, already this is how deep, because these dudes take care of business. no matter if it's the run or the pass. They come hard at this. And then, of course, they've already gotten, and like one thing that they cut out now, this is one thing that they crippled Detroit with. Already the middle is taken out. Because remember, all year, and the way he killed the Vikings, he was getting those deep ones. Like when I watched him play, they was getting them deep crosses already, this is interfered with. And that they can attack this, and these cats stay in their lanes. I mean, no matter run or pass, and again, when you pursue, but they're pretty strict. And look at this. There's no slant either way. You see this? And they can play anybody like this with just 4. And they're one of the few teams that can do this. And they all stay in their lanes. They all take this. So this is going to be something that I think is going to make a difference. Because they don't really blitz a lot. They will attack you with just them. And even the guys coming in off rotation are pretty strong. But right here, you can already see the integrity of how they're attacking this. And then if it's run, they're just filling. But, they're looking like, okay, if you try to get these crossings, already they took this crossing routes out. So I want that to be considered. Let's see. And they got burned on that. They did get burned on a run with that. But it didn't make a difference in the game. Let me see. Let me get another set. I want to get an offensive set. Still defense.
Hyundai Tucson versus Toyota RAV4. Look what Tucson has and what RAV4
has. A wall of blockers. St. Brown diving forward. He's got a first down inside the 20, and the first touch to Amon-Ra delivers as he moves forward.
All right. Now, this is another way that now we'll see Kansas City try to attack them just like this. All right. But again, listen to me. Okay, right here, he's pinching him. He's pinching him. So they changed a little look. But again, all game, look at the integrity of their lanes. Look at the integrity just with 4. Just with 4. And, they've tried to spread it, but again, they got him coming in tight. And that's the only reason he's giving this type of look, which again, he's a DB, safety, right? Yeah. Well, safety here. Well, they're linebackers. But look at how confident, and then they're pressing up here, and look at how confident they are. But this is going to make a difference. If they can keep these lines, these straight lines of containment, and yes, I know the Lions got a few runs, but with this look here, even in the threat of pass, there's still always a threat on both ends. Always a threat on both ends. And I think that's going to make a difference. And let's see. Let's play it.
Give it to him, Montgomery. Nice move up the middle. Still chugging his way all the way down to the 1. Montgomery on 2nd and goal, surging. There's Purdy.
All right, let's see if I'm getting back from here.
He's got a.
All right. We're going to see a lot of this. Yeah, I'll tell you what. This is like a look that the old Redskin used to give Lawrence Taylor. That's what this is. This is like a H-back look, and they looking up to straight up run. But that's how they solved Lawrence Taylor. They put the 2 tight ends to one side. So you see their power right here. And he hits the hole so quick. And look, this is bringing everybody up. And, Sanders, reverses, all that is gonna work. But right here, I mean, look at this. Look at if they try to attack them, like even there, this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, they're trying to attack it with 5. Now, you gonna be you man here. What are you? Somebody's got to account for him, and someone's definitely got to account for him. But they straight up running. But there's so many other threats they can do, and they're going to see a lot of this. And to say that they're just going to stuff him the whole game, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think he'll fold, and I really think that he'll be able to be successful. And we're going to see a lot of this. And they can do so much out of this. And this is, again, no motion or nothing. This is just, I think this will be effective. So let me catch up. Raiders player. Okay, let me see. Probably you. Super facts. I can't put my finger on. Gut tells me Kobe's alive and well. Yeah, the jersey is cracked. Indeed. Morse rig games said Falcons and Patriots. Dan Gamble threw that game. So this is just some looks that we're gonna see. I mean, no doubt we're gonna see
a vital
this.
role in that play.
And they can run. And so right now you look like it's power. Okay, so check this out. Right now it looks like we're trying to be power, but you see again, they beat them like this in the last Super Bowl they lost. This was open all day. The last Super Bowl that they lost to the 49 to the Kansas City, this was there. This was there all day, attacking with him again. This is going to be there. Kansas City is going to have a hard time because, again, everybody's playing to run because of the way he went. You see that? So now, and we've got a receiver here too. So Kansas City is going to have to respect that he's running. You see all the linemen went to there. They ran a boot. They ran a boot out of this and bringing Sanders across. So we're going to see a lot of him coming across, reverses. I wouldn't even doubt they run a split with both him and McCarthy in the back. I wouldn't doubt that. They run a split set, pro set. I would not doubt if you see there a pro set out of these two in the backfield. Would not doubt that at all, that we see these two in a pro set and see how they attack it because he's such a good receiver. So I'm going to say here, don't be surprised to see them both in the pro set and attack it as, running backs. Because he hurt them last time. And the same, this is a simple scheme that, again, if this is a sweep, they defeat it. Because really, if he would have made his cut here, that's where the hole is. You see where the hole is. But again, he's taking it outside just to take everybody with him. But just think about if he would have got to, hit this right here. Again, he's kicking out. And if he would have really hit this, he's trying to sell it to go this way. But just think if they ran it. You see, it would have been open. Look at this. This is all they linemen on the other side. They outnumbered. So we'll look for that. Oh, most rigged game? Yeah, no, not really. No, I ain't going to say that was the most rigged game. It's like all of them was rigged. I mean, think about like Super Bowl, what was it? Super Bowl 4? The game I talked about where Chuck Howley, and I remember that's where I broke the black and white TV because we had the ghetto where the big TV was black and white and the little TV on top was black and white. So we usually watched the little TV in the kitchen, and the big one didn't really work that great. It worked okay, but it was one of them old ones. And yeah, we watched Super Bowl 4, and he kicked that field goal and beat the Cowboys. I hit through that baseball and bust that little TV. I was close to it. I was like, whoosh. Pow! My father looked at me, and that TV couldn't have cost more than $15-20. But anyway, they wasn't got another one, but still. But that one, I mean, with all the turnovers, I mean, with two men, like what Franco Harris did. Franco Harris, it was two offensive men to touch the ball. That was illegal. Even with Franco Harris days, two offensive men could not touch the ball. And that's the same thing you see with John Mackey on the tip play. Because Renfro misses it. I had pictures of that. Renfro misses it. John Mackey, the other Colt touches it, and then John Mackey catches it. Under the old rules, that pass was ineligible. Under the old rules. But they let it go. Let me get some sets for the Chiefs though. That we look at. And I'm going to I got to set up, I don't even have StreamYard anymore, so I got to set it back up and try to go live. I've went live, I think, the last 4 years. So I'm going to try to go live because we go to my brother-in-law's house. Even though I'd rather watch it here, but it's all about the energy of family. It's, the sacred ball game is all about getting together with family too, So, I meant the most obvious. Not even Brady and Bellicker, after all their success, would go for the fourth down and two different times. Block the three, go up for, and then the regular season of Madden. Well, the play that made no sense against the Patriots and the Broncos was all the plays. So in the first half of that game, or it wasn't the Patriots, it was the Falcons. You know, you don't run plays. The plays that you run is all plays that you can lose yards. And then your final third down play, it's like if it's not on this channel, it might have been my old channel where I showed John Elway. Okay, I can't keep having that happen. Where I had John Elway, and John Elway is on the 7 or 8 or maybe even the 10, and he just keeps backing up until he gets, he's in the end zone for a safety. He just keeps backing up where he could have thrown it any time. If he goes through, you remember that video, I'm keeping like, throw it, and he doesn't. He keeps just floating back, So he lost 2 Super Bowls to get 2 Super Bowls. So, keep that in mind. Lost 2 Super Bowls to win 2 Super Bowls. Or did he lose 3? Did Elway? He lost at least 2. Yeah, I think Elway lost 2 and he won 2. So, like Jim Kelly, he equaled Jim Kelly. He made 4, but he was able to, Jim Kelly didn't win any. And that Norwood kick, I think that was definitely manipulated, that Norwood kick. Yeah, the Detroit Lions. That's my friend Tony. His team is the Lions. I'm an Eagles fan. And I can't even say these Raiders now. I was an Oakland Raider fan back in the AFL days. So what was I trying to bring up? Oh, up here I talk about the weather. It's mild. It was cool today. I'm lazy. I didn't do nothing. I just chilled. Like it's 26. Super Bowl day, it's gonna be 41. So Oh man, I can't, man. I'm bummed, y'all. I can't get the pictures out, but man, let me get his name. I want to give him love. And let me give this nigga love. And I can find him on here too. Let's do that too. I'll find him and y'all can look him up so y'all can relate a little more to what I'm talking about. All right. The nigga's name is y'all know I be doing shit, I be doing it in 3D all day. Out and about, supporting people. Here we go. What is this nigga's name? Yeah, here's his name. I looked for him last night. Yeah, right here. Oh, okay. I want to show.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is the 5th time I'm trying to do this video.
Oh no.
Fucking this goddamn that COVID shit.
I ain't gonna play none of his stuff because you got to pay for it. We saw this last night, y'all. We went to see him. This is Derek Gaines, and I'm sorry I can't remember the other comedian. He didn't pack the house like Trix did, but he tore the motherfucker up. But I'm so sorry. The guy before, they gave him a long set. And he was funny in the motherfucker too. But this is Derek Gaines. I can't see it. He had the proudest shoes on. And I'm sorry I can't transfer this picture, but I can still kind of show you what kind of show you what they was able to do, but he ripped it. My son. So we went to the House of Comedy. What's his name? Let me get a full. Will you come here? What is his name? His name is let me make it bigger. Rich Bronson's House of Comedy at the Mall of America. The brother I just showed, and I'm sorry I can't give you a better picture, but once the light hits, yeah, right there. That's Derek Gaines. And the other comedian, I'm sorry I can't remember his name, but that's Derek Gaines. And that's my mother on her 83rd birthday. Let's see if I can get the lights. So Eric Gaines took a picture with my 83-year-old mother. There we go. And so, that's what we did last night. That's what we did. And motherfuckers, I love this hat I got on, And it's funny. Derek Gaines said, "Oh, I like your Applejack." You know, in Michigan, we call these big apples. We call these kind of hats big apples, but he called it an Applejack. You know, and that's what the stage and shit looks like. I mean, we was right on that motherfucker. And this is my son, my oldest son here with his girl. And my wife, she's in this motherfucker somewhere. It's just blurry. But, you know, it's cool. Like, these was the people that sat in front of us. And this nigga took pictures with them, you know, because we was up front, you know. And he took pictures with them. And so, you know, I love comics. And I have no problem. You know, I saw, you know, when I knew my mother, and I was like, we had a good time a couple weeks ago when we went. You know, we saw Tricks, and Tricks sold it out. This young brother, you know, he had a good crowd. He didn't sell it out, but it was like all the tables in front was full. It's just the tables in back wasn't full. So that was it. And that wasn't that many tables in back. So he had a good crowd. And he did 3 shows. I think he did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 2 shows. So I think he's doing a show tomorrow. So check this brother out. His name is Derek Gaines. He was a funny motherfucker, man. He was like, it was some biker looking dudes in front. He was just giving them the business, you know. He was like, damn. He's like, yeah, these is the son of anarchy people. It was some European women there that kind of had the fluffy hair, like in the 40s age European women. He said, y'all look like y'all could have been, y'all. He's like, y'all women look like you have, what do you call it? Angelical or TV evangelist hair. That's what he told these chicks. He's like, y'all look like y'all got TV evangelist hair. That shit was funny. And then, you know, that was off the top of his head. That's what I love about the spontaneous stuff. And there was this goofy dude next to me said a couple shit. He said it to like the other dude more than Derek. But the dude was like, man, all I heard was some mumble and shit, and everybody laughing at him because motherfuckers try to. I try to avoid, you know. But, you know, and so we had a good time. We spilled a grip. We spilled a grip. I didn't realize, like it was like, I had a burger. What did Chrissy have? What did she have? What did she have? I don't know. I don't remember what she had. No, she had some shit. But my mother ordered this big, platter shit, and it had a bunch of shit. So I didn't know I ordered that. I wouldn't order the burger if I knew all that was. So we spent a grip in that place. But hey, we support the people. We support the people, and you know, we thank them for their genius. You know, yeah, we thank them for their genius. No, I don't say shit, man. I don't say shit. And like I'm gonna tell you how long I've been going to comedy clubs. I've seen David Winslow from Police Academy. I saw him about 20 years ago. But I saw Tim Allen in Kalamazoo. You know, I've told that story many times. You know, it was like the State Theater in Kalamazoo is like all the theaters across. You know, you had it was the segregation theater. You know, and like you could sit up top or you could sit down below. But in the basement, they built a comedy club. And I think the first time I saw Tim Allen, I'm trying to remember, I saw him 3 or 4 times. But I remember one time I was smoking a joint. The girls went in and I came in. And he was like, oh, fashionably late. And, you know, everybody laughing at me and shit. And so I remember another time I was out there smoking a joint. He had came out there maybe to smoke a square or something. And I was like, okay, so now you can give me a break. Still, I went in there and he talked shit about me. I was like, man, why? So yeah, but yeah, that's how long I've been going. I've been to them, man, all over. I just love comics and the genius. And it's like I know, like when Lorenzo would come in, he would say he really couldn't relate to Richard Pryor, but you know, that like my love of comedy is this, you know, the griot. You know, that's the African thing, but it was like just even American. You know, the storyteller, and you know the stories that are told over and over again. And so, you know, and that's what Richard Pryor turned it in, not just a dude just telling punchlines. What was his name? Rodney, Rapping Rodney. Remember Rapping Rodney Dangerfield? He was one-liners. Maybe one of the best ones at it. I'm gonna tell you another motherfucker that was good at one-liners was Henny Youngman. Henny Youngman was real good, and now you can't hardly find much. It's the same. When you find Henny Youngman, it's the same jokes over and over again. It's the same. But this was a motherfucker. I used to watch him. Henny Youngman. He played the motherfucking violin too. But I mean, this dude was like sharp. I mean, one time I saw him a long time where they gave him he had a nice little set on TV. Man, this dude must have rattled off 40, 50 jokes just like that. But see, that's where Richard Pryor changed it. And that's Rodney Dangerfield was one-liners. You check him out on Johnny Carson, one-liners. Richard Pryor took you into a comedic story about American life. And that's what everybody does now. That's the style of comedy that is won. And Eddie Murphy followed, and everybody followed that. Everybody followed that. Who now just is one-liners? Like that Nick Cannon show is about the closest you get to one-liners. I mean, if you understand the way they put it together, that's the closest to one-liners. But it's pretty much not looked at as art anymore. Ain't nobody gonna go in the club and just tell one-liners. No, you got to tell stories. You got to paint a picture with your story. And that's what I love about comedians. And so, shit, I'm going back out there when it's just us. We'll take, because we like going out, we like being, supporting the arts. And that's why, when I talk about the Olmec civilization and the Oman civilization, whatever you want to call it, the beautiful thing about it is they had so much time for the arts and their children. They're a society that highlighted their children and love for children. They put that on their monuments, showing the love for children and highlighting the children. But you have a highly sophisticated society that, loves the arts. And that's really how they're known now, is through the arts. I mean, if you really look at it, that's all most of the researchers, their art is what people know. Big heads is part of the art. And I'm not saying, I'm the most exclusive, but I think my take on all of it is more profound than anyone else's of what all this means. And how this is even being used against us tomorrow. I mean, because that helmet is sacred. That helmet comes from the hero twins. I mean, think about this with the Omen. And think about this, when they talk about the underworld, they talked about the underworld having vast oceans in these papers that the Spanish later copied. And, they talked about oceans being in inner earth then. These people that they tell you lived 2,000-3,000 years ago talked and wrote papers about the inner oceans inside the earth. When they had to go fuck with the gods, and they tell you the oceans they got across and shit. Right? Papa Val. And to us, it's so sacred because it's part of creation. And when we look at the hero twins, is again, we don't separate. We don't kill our brother. We fight with our brother. We build with our brother. We fight the gods with our brother. We practice the sacred ball game so that we can fight the gods if we have to. I mean, even some of the when you see some of the headdresses wearing of the corn and the corn feathers, the corn, that comes from their father and his sacrifice of being able to being in the creative process of creating the hero twins. So you see some headdresses with the corn, And for me, that's how deep it is. It's like I carry, the jaguar, the jaguar, the transformation. I carry that with me. That's how serious I am, And so this consciousness is around me. And so, I take this personally, and it hurts me the way they've commercialized it and turned something into their, where they do the biggest sacrifice of the year. That's what they look at it as feeding this beast. That's kind of what it comes down to, is that they feed this beast. And, we by giving the energy to it, we kind of help them. And yeah, we kind of help them. And that's okay because, different thought forms, the energy is applied differently. And that's why I like going live and I'm sorry, I didn't follow through. Let me follow through. Find, whoops. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chiefs. I want just highlights. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's see. I want to get some formations out and to see how
lined up at the top, ready.
Okay.
Kansas City from the 19, throwing at the goal.
I could have dealt with that.
Aguilar could not hold on to it.
Try this
again. The top.
All right. Okay. Now, one thing that I had to criticize, and everybody could look at as the fix, is why you had Cook that really, by this game, probably expected to be used a lot, and they didn't use Cook at all. Look at the way they're just blitzing here. There's no thought of run threat at all. Okay? And they're on really, check this out. This is really 3. They're attacking this with 3. And look at this lanes. Look at this lanes. Now with McCaffrey back there, they can't do this. They can't tack it like this with McCaffrey back there. And you're talking about making them make open field tackles if you get by all them. But this is they were so predictable in what they called, and that's a part of the fix. Look at how predictable this is. If they all coming, is he really a threat? I mean, that's where you would think. But again, it's over top. This can easily turn into cover 2. Shit, especially they bail out of this. Only one spies, you save one to spy. They're not going to be able to set up like this against San Francisco. All right? They are not going to be able to get that because San Francisco is a threat to run. And I was, looking at this film and I was trying to well, damn, where can I find that they run? All right. Okay, I want to catch him.
Aguilar could not hold on to it.
All right. This. Okay. Now, San Francisco was just giving you a very similar look to this. All right. Again, everybody maintaining the same kind of, but, the double teams coming here, one-on-one there, one-on-one here. All right. We man. This is actually zoning. You see safety help here. Probably Kelsey is one of these. Okay. This can be a problem because you got a lot of these one-on-one looks if your people aren't effectively rushing him. All right. Because again, this is their only linebacker. Well, now linebacker's here. This is a safety. All right. I say that the 49ers are going to have more success pursuing with him. They're going to beat this 5 on this 4 on 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they're going to beat this. And they're going to keep such integrity and put so much pressure, especially from the end. Like, look at this. He ain't even made contact yet. See this, all the free time, how late he was? And that could have been on purpose. But again, they're all staying the line. This is the first down here. But, this is an effective way. Again, if they can't make these one-on-ones and you miss these tackles, but I don't think San Francisco will miss the tackles like that. So, and again, this is, obvious no threat to run, but it is 2nd and 6. So that's, you always got to factor, how are they going to play that?
On 2nd and 6.
How are they going to play that?
Out of the gun, he's able to fire it to Pacheco for a first down.
Now, we're going to see this a lot. Again, what kind of integrity, what kind of pressure can they put on this? And again, who's guarding Kelsey? This is something that, especially from a tight formation. And I think that other back, number 1, or is that McKinnon? But the one they picked up, one of the other backs is going to play. This is definitely, if we're going to see this kind of play on the goal line. We're definitely going to see them run him like this on the goal line. I'm going to call that now. We're going to see him in some kind of motion when they're on the goal line. Well, he'll score. I'll predict that now. If you see this around the goal line, you know they're going to come to him in this. But there's such a threat, and even though this is tight, and again, you know, you ain't really got true rush ins. These is linebackers. What we have in San Francisco, both of these is true rush ins. True rush ins. And this is technically cover 2, you know. Looking at like cover 2, really. The safety's high. You know, slants. Everybody bails. You get outside of him. Who? Is he going to come? Is he going to respond in time? Or is he turning the corner and he's going to have to guard him? Who else? I mean, that puts him in one-on-one. They're not dropping him. He's coming. So how quick can he get to Kelsey's spot? Kelsey's going to get at least here by the time he catches up with him because of this motion, you see? So we'll see a lot of that, especially around the goal line. Let's see.
Pacheco, and he is wrapped up by Roquan.
Wonder if I can get it to run again.
Diving under the first wave is Pacheco for another chunk play and a first down. Kansas.
Yeah, okay. Now, all right, this is on a running play. This is on a running play. And look at how they changed up. Again, you see them running in a tight formation again. You see them running from a tight formation. And he's trying to get this in to kick out. But look at this. They all got defeated. Look at this second line. But this line, you can already see they got defeated. And they stopped them here. This was 3rd and 2, and they got stopped. And now I know, you want to say that the Lions was a better running team than they are. They're a great passing team. But again, when San Francisco had to stop that running game, they did the same thing right here. They stopped them. Everybody maintains, but they defeat this play with just them. And that's what San Francisco can give you. Their front four can stop them without really blitzing. They can stop them. Maintain. And that's the key right here. If these 4 can maintain these lanes and not let him scramble, not let him get outside, they're already going to stuff the run. And they tried to double team over here. And look at this. He still beat them. Everybody beat their man here. And look at this. He's already free too. See? Because he blocked down instead of catching him right there. Tight end ain't over quick enough. So this can be defeated. But again, this is a trick play. They don't really want to go power on power. This is a counter, really. I mean, that's all this is. This is a counter. Him kicking out, it's a counter play. See, he's going this way. They turn that way, like, they thinking they're going this way, and they're running a counter that way. That's why he's sealing here. But he was supposed to hit him. He was supposed to check with him first to kick out. But again, they anticipated this formation, so that's why he came here. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's supposed to double team. He's kicking him out. He didn't make the play. So those some of the integrities that you got to think of. It'd be like in the comics. You be heckling the comics. Nah, I don't fuck with them. I crack up. I be laughing too loud. I be like, what was that movie? The Nutty Professor. I be laughing like that, because it should be having me crack up. I laugh like the Nutty Professor. The motherfucker Eddie Murphy's back. It's just, they bring that out of me. I'm so good when the shit's really funny that, it brings it out of me, and I love it. I really love it. So, y'all see Golden State win? Steph shot that long one, was definitely manipulated. Like, look at this. They done dominated them most of the game, and Steph hit that nice long one. Yeah, I know Lobo was like, he was talking about handles and stuff and how Kyrie can handle, but man, Pistol Pete probably, I would say Pistol Pete probably, if you looked at the best handle ever, was probably Pistol Pete. Like his drills are still done. He probably has the best handle of all time. But I think you also have to consider Isaiah Thomas. And another player, a lot of y'all don't really know because y'all didn't watch him. Left hand was Nate Archibald too. I mean, Nate Archibald was like, they called him Nate the Skate because he was so much quicker than everybody. It looked like he was skating on. He just had that motor. And if you didn't, to be able to lead the league in scoring and dishing, I mean, and I loved it. He wore them pro kids like I used to wear. But Nate Archibald too had a very, very tight handle. I'm a person that probably gets love for a handle too is Marcus Haynes. Marcus Haynes really made the world understand what a handle could be. When he's sliding all across the floor and stuff in the 20s and 30s when the Globetrotters first starting. I mean, he was the first one that made the world look at this is what you can do with the ball. And so definitely Marcus Haynes got to be considered. And even a lot of you listening now won't even know Curly Neal, who was just a copy of Marcus Haynes. And, a lot of you won't even include, a handle with Curly Neal, but you kind of got to give it to Curly Neal too. Because Curly Neal did the same thing that Marcus Haynes did, but he did it on a much bigger stage because, it was the Globetrotters were even bigger when Curly Neal played. That's why I don't mind having a Curly Neal jersey. I knew Mr. Neal. But again, when you're talking about pure basketball handles, you've just watched films of this nigga, and this nigga had real handles too. So Lobo had brought that up, and that's something I agree. Again, I support people. I listen to a lot of people. I tune in, and whatever I'm doing, I have them going. Oh, Lorenzo, what's happening, man? That shot Curry made was manipulated, but if you admit it, it was definitely it was a real good game. I sat there and actually put the phone down. I was listening to somebody, but I put the phone down and started watching the game because the game was so good. And the way you hear when it's manipulated, it's a sound that the basket makes. Because it doesn't matter if it swishes or not. It makes a sound when it's manipulated. The college system is even louder than the pro system. It's not the same system in college and pro. It's I guess they're not allowed to have the newest system. The college system is always the older system of the way they do it. But yeah, you could hear it. You could hear it. Now it's a sound. So not so much, that's why I don't even show the flight of the ball. This, sound, you see that that you can hear that it's a manipulated shot. But it was a fun game to watch. So was the other one. The college games. Shoot, college games was good. Who did I watch? Baylor. Who played Baylor, y'all? I watched that game. I watched a couple of college games. Again, I didn't go nowhere. I was just, chilling. Yeah, it makes a thump sound, even in a swish. And that's why, that's really where I was able to catch on that the swishes, because a lot of people was like, well, it's swished and it's manipulated. No, what I caught about 2 or 3 years ago, and maybe even further, is like the way the net was used. And again, we go back to the Jerry West shot. The net is reacting before the ball even goes into the basket. Even in an old fuzzy thing, you can see that the net is starting to react before the ball even gets in. So again, under the old system, the first system could only do, 1 or 2 shots a game. It appears like only 1 at the old system. And I'm sorry, I hope I didn't miss getting this film of the first manipulated shot. But yeah, it was a fun game to watch. Green played good. Green blocked dudes. Remember, he blocked Kuminga's shot. That was a nice block. When Green blocked Kuminga's shot, and the game was close. That was like they was up. No. Green blocked. Whose shot did he block? He blocked one of the. Damn, who blocked? Green blocked a nice shot though. Norwich. He blocked Norwich shot. Yeah, Kansas Baylor game. I watched that game. And yeah, I watched that one too. Yup. Miami, UNC Miami. I watched both them. Yeah, Michael got them hooked up. Oh, but did y'all know Baylor where Was it Baylor wearing Adidas? Yeah, Baylor was wearing, no, Kansas wears Adidas. Some of them had them ants on. One dude hurt his ankle wearing them ants, but another dude had them ants on. Did y'all notice that? Some of them was wearing them ants. But Michael Jordan, I mean, Michael Jordan is on the basketball frame. It is Michael Jordan spread out in Carolina blue. So, Anthony G, what's happening? Green is on his best behavior. He had a good game, man. That pass early in the game, he threw that nice assist, man. And remember, Steph got pushed from behind. Man, that was a good. I mean, he gets it. He gets it. I like what he brings, and he blocked Norwick's shot. And Kuminga, man, I see why they got rid of Wiseman, but Kuminga. You know how they used to say, Kuminga is nothing nice. for opposing teams, Kuminga is nothing nice. He really, his motor is so good now. And it's like, I'm going to tell you what I see in Kuminga. And this is real. Like, people don't know that if Len Bias doesn't die, Larry Bird and them's careers expanded because they ain't got to play as hard. Because they had a dog that would have gave it all to him. Yeah. That would have intensified, because Len Bias 6'8", Larry Bird 6'9", Mikhail 6'10". And so what we are seeing, Kuminga doesn't shoot as well. And that's one thing where Len Bias was better than Jordan. He would have fit in shooting threes way quicker than what Jordan did. I mean, he would have came in the league again because he played. I mean, that freshman team he was on had to been not Albert, Bernard King, Buck Williams, Bernard King, Buck Williams, the older Graham, because the younger Graham went to A&T. I'm trying to think of who the other guards was, and Lynn was in there, and Lynn like lit him up in the ACC championship. I watched him kill Perkins, and Jordan had to be on that team. I don't know if Worthy was on that team, but Lynn put it on him. He was like live. He was the best player I ever watched live. And again, got to see him 3 or 4 times live. But live, the most athletic and naturally, and I saw Jordan play. I mean, I saw Jordan play in the pros too. And at that point, Lynn had it. But that's what Kuminga, he reminds me of that kind of motor without the jump shot, though. He doesn't have Len Bias jump shot. But he gives them it's hard to guard him. I mean, it is so hard to guard because all of them kind of push the ball. By them not really having a true big dude, Laney comes in there, but Kuminga plays wing. He plays the power. Man, they still kind of and Kuminga can run. He's Dennis Rodman-like, fires his stamina, and they don't start him, which is interesting, but I mean, they play so well together. Thompson is straight trash. I don't know why they didn't trade him, paying him 48. I think he's getting paid 48. I think they paying Thompson $48 million. The noise sound like a shink when the ball goes. Yeah, it's a different sound. And as I was saying before, you could even see like the way a few years ago, the way they even did the net. I mean, the net was even involved in it because the net was even, it was a weird way to net. It made the sound and the net reacted strange. I mean, if you really paid close attention to it, it was an unnatural reaction of the net and the sound. And so, it can be a swish and it's still manipulated. Kansas played Baylor, number 3 North Carolina survived on the road against Miami, and Gonzaga goes and they beat Kentucky. And Kentucky's lost 3 in a row. You gonna get you some of them ants? Man, my man said it was hard to put on. That's what my man told me. Like my winterized 11s is hard to put on. Like my left foot, it's hard to put them motherfuckers on. It is. I love wearing them, and they got my orthopedics in them, but it's hard. It's hard to put them on, No doubt. So that's what they say. And like I would never, like, I don't know. Like I don't understand why the inserts of Adidas are so poor. And I bought, multiple, I got multiple not Dame, but Donovan Mitchell's. I got 3 or 4 of them. I got 4 or 5 pair. I gave my son a bunch of pair. So, yeah. So I don't know. I love the Kobe's though. Like I just wear my those crazies. Those shoes I'm impressed. I might even see if I can play pickleball in them because they really mold to the top of your foot, and so the whole. I mean, I like that instead, like a lot of not many shoes where the top molds to your top of your foot, and I like that about those shoes. There's not too many other shoes that the top of the shoe molds to your foot. That's great technology. So I might even my brother-in-law bought 2 pair. I think he got the all black pair. So I like those. Those are a pair of Adidas I like. So I don't know. I might get a pair of Ant ones. The blue ones with that blue sole is pretty cool. I like them ones too. Let's see up here. Oh, okay. I'm close to 2 hours. Okay. Man. So those was, some of the things I just wanted to bring up to look for tomorrow, like as you look for these formations and see how the defensive attacks it. I think San Francisco really has enough to some different kind of cats gonna come after him. And I think because it was just a few throws that they beat them before. They really should have beat them before. And Jalopolo, it looks like he missed the passes on purpose. I mean, it was 2 or 3 where it was big plays, and that was the difference in the game. So I think if those plays aren't missed, and this wasn't a great team in the beginning of the year, they had a lot of teams solved them. They were solved by a lot of the teams, so that's a consideration too. But it's gonna be fun. I hope you enjoy it. Put the bread on it, whatever you put the bread on. I ain't influencing nobody. But it's about and it's like it's funny what it's turned into. To really watch what it turned into and kind of help you kind of turn into that. Because it was like from even my own family, like with my wife's family, we turned it into where we had a big old party. We was one of the first people. And I was like, man, why ain't we got people over here? Why don't y'all cook? And we break, stop, get all that food. Her family owned the restaurant, so we just get a ton of food and start cooking. And normally I either played ball on most Super Bowl Sundays. I hooped on Sundays, so I had a game earlier in the day. Like I said, I broke my hand. So, but that's how really the party started. I saw. It's like we would start doing that, and then all of a sudden, their friends was having the parties, and we would just go to each other's parties. In the 80s, I felt so bad, and let me tell y'all, like this is what happened. So, how did this go? So one time, I got invited to a Super Bowl party, and my ex-wife, who grew up with no dental care, got like 5 teeth pulled, so we couldn't go. I often talk about my friend who was in Vietnam. He was my roommate. Him and this girl had a big old party. They was cooking up the little shredded up steaks, whatever you call that shit. I forget. And I had got just my brand new floor model. The remote is like a credit card. The remote's like this, even with the cable. This motherfucker. So I've got this motherfucker's in my bedroom, and I'm like, gonna just watch it like that. So they was, but not understanding that, my friends were showing fellowship. I should have went over there and went with them. And I was kind of selfish, and I'm a Cancer, so sometimes I just want to be into my own self. So, but it's about the fellowship too. Green and Urgent was going at it. They both tripped me out when they both signaled each other too small. Yeah, because he hit the table. Remember, he slapped the floor. Remember the one time that motherfucker slapped the floor. He's like, yeah, I slapped the floor. But it was he blocked his shit nice though. He blocked his shit. He got Norick shit. He got his shit one time. I was about to say Cummings like Rodman. Yeah, Kuminga's like Rodman. Yeah, absolutely. Even on defense. He made not tonight, but the other night he made a real good block. So I always throw the Super Bowl party. Now my sister-in-law throwing it. Like my house, this townhouse ain't really it's not really party kind of place. It was a townhouse. It's still, and we don't have a basement, so it's still a townhouse. But so, it's just more natural to go with my brother-in-laws. They got a bigger place. And everybody just brings something, and that's all it is. And I'm going to try to turn StreamYard back on, find it on my phone. I might even go get another phone before the game, because I definitely need a new phone. I've been bullshitting. So that's what we're going to do. And, man, they have the pool. They got the pool set up. But it's not going to be warm until May or June. But so we'll be able to play pickleball and get in shape. And the weather, we're gonna, I showed. Let me see. I don't know. I showed the weather. I think I did. And the weather's mild up here, and this is mild, y'all. Ain't no snow. It ain't supposed to snow all month. Look at this, mild. I mean, this is cooler than what it's been, and next weekend it might even be even cooler. I got all my dates all mixed up. I was thinking we had some shit to do, and that shit ain't till March. I'm like, damn. So, but this is what we're facing, like what it is right now. Like, here I've got the heat turned off in this room. I've got the vent shut. I think I got the vent shut because this room gets really hot. And my plant, I like having live things in almost all the rooms. I don't have a live plant in our room, but I like having live plants in the rooms. It's just, especially where, my, these are my altars. And, like here is my, I have a table that my grandfather built. This is his style. This is his design. And I've had this table since I was 4 years old. Yeah, we got this table when I was 4. And I've never lived without this table. This is one of the things that I took with me when I left. I've had this table, 58 years? Yeah, at least. Yeah, I've had this table, 58 years, I think. This is where I put all my omic stuff on, and one of my totems I put on that altar. So, the weather up here can be, but it's great that it's not. I think sometime we need a break from that shit. And the year my daughter was born, this weather was exactly like this. It wasn't hard on everybody. Like we had last year, 80 some inches. I mean, we had blizzard after blizzard after blizzard. Like Christmas Eve, like everybody, like where we're going Sunday, it's in a blizzard when you got to drive a half hour, that's a long way. In the summertime when the weather's nice, it's about a 25-minute drive from where we go, because they live way west. They live actually on Lake Minnetonka. Well, not on the lake, but they live by Lake Minnetonka. And so when it's a storm, it's difficult. But yeah, we're all going over there and chilling. And I'll try to go live. I should be able to go live. Let me see if I can show some of these stories. Yeah, I think this is the story I saw earlier. Was it that one? Damn. Oh, okay. It's the same story. Okay. Wow. Let me see. Here's all the names. Let me get this right. I'll go through the names. These are all the names of all the people that have died. Let me find where I started. And let me see. First person was a person called N. Scott Momaday. Native, who was a Pulitzer Prize winner, was 89. Cheetah Riviera, West Side Story, number 2. Jimmy Williams, former Houston manager, played 2 seasons. Ann Elders, a writer, died at 96. Yeah, Jimmy Williams, I don't think I got his age. Tony Batt, Broadway, 67. Melinda Wilson, Brian Wilson's wife of the Beach Boys. Don't have her age. Terry Beasley played at Auburn, 73. William O'Connell. Now, is that the one I did again? Terry Beasley. No, that was a different dude. Okay. Very similar stories. Okay, where were we? William O'Connell, 94, Star Trek Films. That was number 8. No, 9. Oh, yeah, number 9. Dick Waterman, 88, blues guitarist. Number 10, Carl Weathers. Everybody knows from Rocky. That was number 8, 9. Where are we at? No, back here. Okay, I counted 10 twice. Okay, so this is actually be number 11. I got to remember to do that. This is actually, okay. So it's one more. Then we have Joe Mattis, NAACP. Madison was also radio. I didn't get his age. Austin Family Man, Barrett. Sorry, I didn't get his age. Don Murray was an actor. He was 94. Mike Gill, 56, a Trump aide. Eric Curitan, 66, a pro basketball player, played with the Pistons and the Sixers. Donald West, 94, Broadway, had something to do with, BBC cable, Broadway casting. Okay, plus he was cable. He had something to do with Broadway. We have Richard Casper, played for the Jets, tight end. Kurt Harmon, World Cup. He was 89. Richard Casper was 75. You have John Irving, English writer, was 50. You have number 21 would be Joe Madison. He was 74. He was on radio. We have Keegan Kirby, number 25, who was 25, horse jockey. We have Terry Johns, 29, English soccer. We have Toby Keith, which would really be 24. Because I counted 10 twice. So Toby Keith, number 62, country music. Henry Farborough, 84, a speaker. No, spinners. Henry Farnborough was a spinner, one of the spinners. 26 would be Greg Finley, 76, voiceover actor. Majo Nixon, 66, outlaw coke guy. Cecilia Ganinci, trans actor, was 52. Martin Kixley, star manager. Martin Kirks. Mickey Gilbert, 87, stunt double. We have Dino Szynski, a can singer. We have Bruce Starford, 21, a college football player. We have, no, we don't count him. We have J.C. Spike, don't know his age, was a Wonder Man electrician. So like built sets and shit, but electrician. They didn't tell his age. Then we have 38 would be Rod Sherman. He was a Bronco, USC. And then we have Andy Brandy, 72, tennis coach, which would make 40. So those are the 40 deaths right now. Again, we're going to count tomorrow night too, because we've showed that isn't enough. And what I've come up with, which I, pretty much can't be denied. What you have to understand, when these master rituals are done, there's always something that feeds. And after studying this for several years, it becomes obvious to me that the main entity that has taken over the sacred ball game in America is Shiva. And again, Shiva is the giver and the destroyer. And if you think about the AFL, and even if you think about the NFL, it goes to the same consciousness that we look at technology. I mean, really, if we look at how it started and what it had the potential to become. And then, so what we have today. And so it's that destroyer energy always feeds, and then they put the other energy on top of the lesser entity. And I say Marduk, I'm just saying that because It is a definitely Catholic Christian purple energy. Marduk is the closest one I could really tie to that, but that's what it seems like it's feeding this year, because they can't have this without, something feeding. And it's, again, it's about making an event last longer. That's why the bad plays on purpose. Or, if it's such a good game, it's finished that day and it's just talked about because it was a good game. It's a different kind of lives. A bad call, might live a lot longer than just a good game. If you understand how they try to do your emotions on how you feel and what you relate to. Whitsome. That's the beer I was trying to think of. Whitsome. That's what Arcadia make. This is a copy of Whitsome. But non-filtered, yeah, that's good. And so that's, even in the music, when we see an Usher and stuff, it's all part of what it feeds. That's why he's chosen. So what feeds is that this is the vibration that it's putting out. It's putting out this creature's vibration to capture our attention and to capture emotions and feelings and undertones that we don't even realize that, are being activated or being activated against us. Because it's all that. Not just simply, we're watching a game. And that's why it's great that we have so many distractions to the game. Eating, talking to our family, where we're not just totally glued to it. And that's the great thing about, leaving home. You're not just glued to it. I tend to be more glued to a game at home. Because now I'm not at the point where I'm, it's like I had fun with making videos, but I don't really care anymore. I really don't, just to take the time to make them. I don't really care that much. I really don't. It's like, why show the manipulated shot? It's so obvious. I've done that for so long that it's obvious that I don't, because at some point, it's too much. That's why we saw what we saw at the beginning of the football season with Keel, talking about the scripting and stuff and having them sit around a table. But, yet, I want them to show the egghead man, like, the egghead man in the room that loves this. It's almost like he's bred to be the one that solves the problem. Remember, Doug Schultz had to do it with him. It's like, hey, we can do policy. And if even if they win, we can change it. Said not only did he understand the policy, he found a way he could cheat if they ever actually lost. And so, to put all your emotion in this, and, if you can win money, win money. Oh, yeah, trans actor. Remember I told you the trans actor died? Yeah, the trans actor died. It hurt she or her or was 50. It was a young person. Yeah, Cecilia Gontrilla. She would have been 52. Yeah. But it was famous. Yeah, took a drink. Yeah. yeah. You take a drink of its sauce, it ties you right into it. So, that's how it feeds. That's exactly how it feeds. Feeds just like that. So, how long is this? I can play this long enough. If it don't play, I still give me a chance to pee. None of these. Zillow. Oh, I like Zillow. Yes. I like Zillow.
Minneapolis police are investigating a deadly
homie. Let's see. Oh, you guys, is this long enough? Yeah, I think I can go pee. And this time I need to stand up too. So I'm gonna play this, and let's see. Yeah.
deadly shooting they say could have been much worse. Police say a 2-year-old was just inches away from a shooting that killed one man and seriously injured another. WCCO's Alan Henry breaks down what police know and how the community is responding.
I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that people are doing all this carjacking and stuff.
Sylvia Luster says she's already been keeping her head on a swivel as she drives around North Minneapolis, and she'll continue that practice after Friday's deadly shooting on Golden Valley Road.
2 individuals on foot
approached the Mercedes in the alleyway, and it looks like they attempted to get inside. One tried to open the driver's side door, the other one went around, tried to open the passenger side door. We're not certain if this was a carjacking or maybe some other attempted robbery or maybe something else.
A 20-year-old man was found in that alley with a fatal gunshot wound. Police were able to find 2 guns and a second suspect who was arrested. Meanwhile, the driver of that Mercedes drove the car full of bullet holes to the hospital with potentially life-threatening injuries and an unharmed 2-year-old.
You know, with 3 individuals involved in shooting handguns so closely by this vehicle, it is absolutely a blessing that a 2-year-old child in this vehicle was not struck and was not injured at all.
Nearby residents like Sylvia called the circumstances sad, but not surprising.
It's disregard for life. It's senseless too. And you know, it's just senseless in the first place how that people are thinking that, you know, you can just start shooting and don't care who it hits. You see the harm that they put that child in. He could have got killed, you know, and some people did, you know, so it's horrible.
Alan Henry, WCCO News.
Investigators are working to determine if shots were fired from inside the Mercedes.
Yeah, that motherfucker popped him. He popped him from the inside. That was a part of it. 2 dudes was laying outside. It was a dude and 2 dudes in the car. And the dude drove himself to the hospital. Ooh, that's too loud. Yeah, the dude drove himself to the motherfucking hospital after popping them dudes. You know, after popping them dudes. He shot them 2 and they got him, but he drove himself to the hospital. And I think he saved his life doing that. Thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it. You know, all the people that come, when you come, I thank you. You know, I try to give the energy out that is given to me. And, you know, and it's like, you know, all these, you know, following these deaths has nothing about being morbid. It's just, this is how it does. And we've just kept track because they've done this year after year. We see all these people dying. So, I just realized something. Both Super Bowl teams lost on Christmas. Yeah. And that would definitely have to do with the Catholic thing. Well, I wonder if I take this pill. Probably will. Yeah, probably did, because that's the only thing I could really tie the purple into is this time of year. And I throw that name out there, Marduk, because it could be, you know, the I don't know. It's like, you know, you look at some of these beans and you see they were copies of other copies. And so, you know, a lot of these nations attributed beans are like, it's so far away from where the real energy is. And it's like even seeing like one thing, you know, that I learned when you looked at the pyramids and the obelisks and that stuff wasn't there to, you know, as boundaries and reminders. That was stuff to energize the people. It was like almost like giving the people free energy in some aspects. I'll definitely agree with that. But it's also, you know, to give you the education. You know, you know, you go into like some of the oldest sites in Americas, you know, when you have some early man, and it's just the way the consciousness was put into just early type of individuals, and where they just looked at these petroglyphs, but these petroglyphs was all lined up where, you know, they would be moving. And as we see, you know, in the Aztecs, we see where, you know, the dragon actually comes down, you know, through, you know, during a certain time of year, the dragon comes down, you know, from the pyramid. And so that was a way of early men actually, you know, getting consciousness put into them. But we know, you know, it was definitely people, you know, talking is a very uncivilized, you know, way of communicating. It shows like we have insects around us that all have, you know, just one mind and can talk to everybody at the same time, and yet we can't do that anymore. We have to vocalize to each people, you know, and the way we can talk to multi people, we got to have a device, you know, instead of being able to send out a message to all the ones that's close to us, because that's the way the power used to be. You could just send out a message, and, you know, everybody that you're in touch with, you could send it out mentally to everybody, and they wouldn't be knowing what's going on with you. And that really wasn't that long ago. I mean, language, you know, you can follow where language is, and language was a way to store things, but not a way to really, you didn't truly have to communicate that way with it. It was, people easier to read minds. I mean, you have a greater awareness. If you're that higher mind kind of person, and everything you deal with, you're a higher mind. I mean, there's just the way the society would be set up. I mean, I'll say this, again, I'm not a big mud flood person, but I'll say this is, it's obvious that there was a not just the technology, but there was a consciousness, more awareness that was greater than, they gave us some of these magical abilities too. Well, now we look them as magic, but it was obvious that these abilities were once way greater tune, and everybody seemed to be able to share in it, and not just a few. And I guess, if you looked at it, maybe it was an attack on magic and they had to kind of, spread it out the way people received it after that could very well be true. And so, when you're talking about a fall, it's definitely, a dumbing down. As much as we think that we have a society technologically going forward, it seems like the opposite is really going on. It seems like we're going backwards in a lot of ways. They just making it look like we're going forward, but it's like, especially, thinking that the machine can solve all the problems. Now, and I talk about this, going to Disney and the first time really seeing 4K, they had some kind of ride or some kind of viewing where you go in this room and they had 4K all around you. And now being able to see, where they can put that same thing that I had to stand there and look at the screen all around me, and now they can just put the screen right there. It's amazing. And, I've said before, like when I had 3D TV back in 11, it was 5 or 6 channels. ESPN, all the boxing and hooping. I saw Kimbo the hooper for, what was it, Villanova? Where did he hoop for? I saw all that on 3D. So you can wear that stuff, and it's not even as, it's better, 3D. And I mean, it is player 8, player 3. What is it called? It is that as well. It's opening the door to that. And that's, it's not, it's like, they bring it up. It's not all negative. It's a lot of, I see a lot of positive in it too. So, for those of you, and the prices is only going to get cheaper, and when they get cheaper, the children, it's just, you can't walk around in them, Remember, can you imagine them trying to play Pokemon and you're wearing them and it's kind of blocking your view and children getting ran over? And I've said that before. They knew that. Now, I've said this before, and this is a criticism. And this is the criticism where they knew this. They knew this. They knew about text and 2D and how children will respond to it. And yet they didn't, it was after, like Fight Club tell you, it's after so many people die and so many defects that they finally, the government got to come in and say, that shit's fucked up. But they knew that going in. They knew that going in about the way teenagers would with 2D. That they would think texting and missing the text is their life. Their life is not worth missing a text. The way the text was important to you. It's like this text is more important to my life no matter what I'm doing. And that's the effect they knew it would have on teenagers, and they still let it go. And look at how many teens, again. And so that shit should have came in with a warning. I mean, when again, the Sky Pagers, no children had Sky Pagers. No children could have that. And I've said before, I still like my Sky Pager better than the 2-ways. Because by the time the 2-ways came out, I already had a phone too. Shit, it was time I had a phone and the Sky Pager, and the phone did text too. The first Motorola's, they could do text. But I like the Sky Pager too, where they could just give me a little sentence. And the phone, end up doing that too. But I really like the Sky Pager more than the 2-way pagers. I thought it was a better piece of equipment, better little technology than the one that could go back and forth, which it was limited, no doubt. But the function, I love the function. Motherfucker, tell me what. I love that Sky Pager. That was the funnest of all of them. And I went back to having the pager that was like, it was skinnier than this. And it just, you had to call in. It blinked and you had a number to call, and people left you a message on the number. That was the old skinny ones. That's how they started. Easy beer to drink. But it's easy to, ward the spell that's coming, You ain't got to do much to ward it. Oh, shit. No, I ain't did it. No reason to do it. Just do some shit just to be doing it. No. Now I got my clothes back here. I need to fucking fold. Shit, I think I'm a rant, talk, and fold clothes at the same time. But it's like the energy. You can feel the energy. The energy is really building. I mean, if you just really tap into what you feel from this game, you can feel it. You can already feel it. I mean, if you really can put yourself into players, regardless if it's I mean, the players know, and sometimes the players, they know going in. That matter of fact, pay attention to the teams coming in tomorrow, and you can see on some of them's face that it's going to be a good day, and you can see on some of them's face where it's not going to be a good day. They're going to struggle. Just make it a good show. When they lost to Fury, isn't that what his name? He lost to Fury. He said, the second time, he said, I hope you like, or the first time, he said, I hope you like the show. And that's what it is. That's what it's always been. It's been controlled. And the egghead man, and now the gambling. And I think, Tony Romo said, the gambling now, with the NFL being involved with the gambling. And I know a lot of y'all don't have the NFL gambling in your cities. But you can just play everything on your phone, and that's legal almost everywhere now, I think. So remember DraftKings, their FanDuel, they took that shit off for a while. Remember, they went after them like Rico. They hit them with a Rico. Remember when they took it off? They fucked them up. They seized all their money. Do y'all remember that when they took that DraftKings shit off? A few years ago, they said the shit was illegal, and this is the same government that'll give you a license to do it. And now, it's all full bore. And so, despite it, it's the biggest, win or lose, you win. Both teams get rings. The winners get the championship from the conference ring. The other ones get the Super Bowl ring. So the losers get, whatever if the Chiefs lose, they get the AFC conference championship rings. Because that's still, they won the conference. Same way, that's, when you make all pro, you get a ring that says all pro. When you play in a Pro Bowl, you get a ring that says Pro Bowl. But, when you get an all-pro ring, and it tells, what all-pro team you played on, but you also get a ring for, I think it's three teams all-pro. And you get bread, too. You get bread, too. Like Rookie of the Year, that's all bonus money. I remember, I knew so many people. I remember, what was his name? He got beat on the catch by Clark in San Francisco. Oh, what was my man's name from South Carolina? Was he from South Carolina? Oh, what was his name? He wore 24. But one girl I was really cool with knew him, and she went to the AFC. She went to she went to one of the playoff games. Oh, what was the brother's name? Oh my goodness, what is his name? Emerson Walls. One of my girls knew Emerson Walls, went to school with him. I don't know if he went to Grambling or South Carolina State. I want to say South Carolina State. Emerson Walls might have went from South Carolina State. But they had beat the Giants. And they was going to the next round. And I remember she was saying how they was on the bench talking about, but they just won 10. And, we talking about 20-some years ago. She's like, yeah, they was on the bench like, yeah, this is a bonus. And it is. And, the Pro Bowl, for Jim Brown and them, that $500 was a motherfucker. That was like $200,000 or $300,000 now. So they tried to kill each other for it. But the players was like, nah, we ain't suckers no more. It ain't worth our health. And that's true. It's really not worth your health. That's why it should be, just touch. Damn. Says Minnesota law allowing earlier releases. Let's hear about this shit. Why are they gonna release motherfuckers earlier? Cost too much to keep them?
2017 murder case are now out of prison. They were released this week and may be the very first inmates in Minnesota to have their sentences reduced under new legislation. Megan Cater and Brianna Martinson were charged and ultimately pleaded guilty to aiding in the murder of Corey Elder in Bloomington while trying to rob him of drugs. The women were initially sentenced to matching 13-and-a-half-year prison sentences, even though they didn't actually help kill Elder. But the state legislature recently rewrote the laws on aiding and abetting the crime of felony murder. So now only those who directly commit the murder or directly aid them can be charged with the crime. The new law can also be applied retroactively to those already in prison. This week, Cater and Martinson were resentenced on lesser burglary charges and released more than 2.5 years early.
I kind of ran another story, and so they've changed the law here. They have changed the law. They have changed the law because, again, I told the story about one of my ex's men in Michigan. Same thing. Motherfucker, they go rob the dope dude. Two of them take the motherfucker to the basement, and they pop him. The other two is upstairs searching. All of them got murder. Murder one. So, under the new law, you might not get it. You know, they're always breaking up encampments and shit here because the weather's so nice. You know, when it's cold, motherfuckers can't be outside. Well, yeah, I guess. Oh, what do y'all think about this one? Morris going to the Timberwolves. Monty Morris going to the Timberwolves. Here he is. What do y'all think about this? I hate they got rid of Beasley because he was a consistent shooter, but if he can give him that consistent shooter too, that other ball handler. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't switch him.
The Minnesota media, the Wolves traded away Shake Milton, Troy Brown Jr., and a future second-round pick in order to bring the 28-year-old to Minnesota, and he brings plenty of experience. Morris spent the first 5 seasons of his career playing for the Nuggets, where he played in 48 total playoff games, and that's what he believes he could bring to this group, an experienced playoff.
So what do y'all think? Y'all think he can help? Y'all think he can help? You think he can help? What they gave him 23? I think that's what Jimmy Butler wore when he was here. I think Jimmy Butler wore 23 when he was here. So we'll see. We'll see if he helps or not. But I think Jimmy Butler had 23. I think no, and I remember when Beverly came, because Wiggins came, they gave him Wiggins 22. I still got a Wiggins jersey. I got to send it to my boy down in North Carolina. Yeah. It's funny. It's places where it's always debauchery. Man, my man, did my man bring out something today? No, he did not bring out anything new. Because it's a few people, you know, that I think is worth listening to. Should always, you know, try to expand yourself. Yeah, Jimmy wore 23, didn't he? Yeah, that's what I thought. So now they're giving it to this cat. So this cat's going to have a little juice with him. Still, they never counting the Timberwolves out because, you know, they are the Lakers. And the Lakers that was here they won 5 championships here. So you can't take that was nothing. So, it's just, it hasn't transferred to the NBA. But doesn't mean that they can't. Now the Nuggets just got one. They was an ABA team, you know. NBA, you know, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets came in during the ABA. I don't think during the ABA merger, which was, I think, 77, 78. And the Timberwolves didn't come in until 89, I think. Man, I was, tripping about how to dress to, to go to the comedy club. I so much wanted to wear that starter, that all black starter. It's so cold. But, I didn't want to be up in that motherfucker wearing a coat because I was glad I didn't. I changed, a bunch of times and finally I just put something simple together. But I wore my hat. I love my hat. I like hats. I'm like the Mad Hatter. And, that goes into Zoroastrianism, that you should never leave your head uncovered, And when you're outside, you shouldn't leave your head uncovered. And that's Zoroastrianism. That's the first one to really put that out there as far as, how to protect your crown. Because, they come from that the crown is there all the time. So, you have to protect it. And that's how they come at it. And, and I guess, when I look at how I apply the sacred ball game, it's kind of the same thing, The ball player, you're protecting your crown, because you're going against gods. So you got to protect your crown because you're going against gods. Damn. Oh, okay. Wow, man, you go to the other cities and some gross shit. I don't think I want to pass that on. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Okay. So that's what this is all about in Philadelphia. Wow, big fire. Wow, 5 people. Damn, did y'all know about this in Philadelphia? Hundreds pay tribute to victim of shooting and fire. So they burned the people up, I think, after they killed them. Co-workers and customers of a Live family member still processing challenge. So 5 people died in this fire in Philadelphia. Wow. And this is a day or two ago. Wow, I don't know which one to turn to. Huh. So let's hear it. I didn't know nothing about this, so let them tell us. A bunch of people died, so when people die, let's let them tell it. I love his wig.
Delaware County and neighbors are starting to pay their respects. A Facebook post lists Nikelyale as a member of the CCSD Dance Company. The cousin of the dance school's owner says this loss is hard to believe and will leave a huge hole in the dance community.
Young girl came home from school that day at probably 3 o'clock, and then an hour later, her and her family are dead. And that's not really something that we can comprehend. I used to go to that dance company, and they're all close. It's not that big, so everyone knows each other there.
William Penn School District officials say counselors are standing by to help any students struggling with this tragedy. More information is coming to light on the man prosecutors believe is responsible for the tragic events in Lansdowne. CBS News Chief Investigative Reporter Joel Holden has the latest.
Good evening. Shortly after the last human remains were removed from 58 Lewis Avenue, the home was torn down. For this community, there will be deep scars for some time. Calling on his own upbringing with Catholic nuns, this district attorney didn't hold back in describing what a man named Con Lay is alleged to have done to his own family.
If this man did shoot his family, which is a horrible evil I can't even begin to comprehend, I hope that the Sisters of Mercy at St. Denis taught me the truth, and that he is going to spend the rest of his life suffering in hell for what he did.
Jack Stolzheimer says his investigators believe Con Lay on Wednesday afternoon first shot his niece before possibly shooting the remaining 4 family members and then setting the home on fire. They say the account is corroborated by Lay's own parents, who left the home and called 911.
There's a small number of people that I've encountered in my 10 years as a prosecutor who are just truly evil people, and they need to be held accountable. I think our good Lord is holding this man accountable.
The medical examiner will now determine if the victims, as well as Con Lay, died from gunshots or smoke inhalation caused by the fire. A rifle was recovered, but prosecutors say how it fits into the investigation with ballistic testing will be determined later.
The gun that we've recovered is a rifle. It's melted at some level. Again, it was inferno, okay?
Damn. Damn, that's a crappy dam like a motherfucker. Golly. Wow. 5 people and himself. Hundreds pay tribute. Wow, that is just shocking. That is just shocking. One man killed his whole. Okay, so this picture, I wonder if that. Okay, let me show this. Okay, I know this is small, but right here, they say he killed her. It looked like these two could have been related to him. This don't look like it was his child. And I wonder if he had abused her and he killed her and then had to kill the rest of them because he abused her. But if you looked at it, like these look like his children. And they say he killed her first. What possibly could make him kill this young woman other than if he abused her and she was going to tell? You know? And then to turn around and kill all them and then set all themselves on fire. Yeah, he's right. That's some wicked shit. That is some wicked shit. No doubt about that. That is very wicked. But the world can be very wicked. And that's, that's what we show, the ending of these so-called stars. What is the odds that Carl Weathers dies, during the time of the Super Bowl at 70 years old? Due to I don't know his health, but he appeared to be in pretty good health. So what takes him out in his 70s, Guy always doing movies, always traveling. Again, I don't know. I'm not the nigga's doctor. I can't say. And then, you have an entertainer, got a couple of my names. Toby Keith fought cancer for years. And what made this date the time that all that didn't work? It's hard to believe that in my day and age that cancer isn't something that cancer, they've known about it for, a long time, and yet they tell you it's still no cure for this. And all the things that people have to do to survive it. And then there's still no guarantee. You put all this shit in you, what did it do? What does it do, What does it really do to you? What does it do to your soul? Because that's really what they go after. I know the Gipper calls it, to take you off your path, what you're here for, but it's trying to take your soul from you. It wants to feed off you. We make small agreements. When you get attachments, it's, when you get agreements, you get attachments. And see, that's like drug addiction. What they call it, the monkey on the back. That's the best way I could show you how attachments like hard drugs can, it's attached to you. The monkey on your back is literally attached to you. And that's what attachment is. Spiritual attachments, which can be negative or positive, can attach to you the same way. And if you don't know how to get that off you, you riding around with extra weight. Spiritual weight that you don't even know that's attached to you, or if you've attached yourself to something. Which can, spiritually you can do it and not really know. You just following what you was taught. Just kind of give it away nonchalant. Not even nonchalant. You just, some people, it can be propaganda. Religion can very, very much propaganda. Got to see how long they're going to let me, because they seem to just cut me off. It's funny. It's just every night, 3 a.m, they just cut the cable off. So I'll see how much longer I'm going to go, because that's what happened last week. It's just, the cable just goes out. All of a sudden, the cable goes out. I don't watch really TV other than games. I generally don't turn the TV on until 6 and the TV's fine. But it seems like if I come get the chopping on here, 3 o'clock seems to be like the time they try to cut me off. So if they cut me off, that's what it is. I'm getting cut off. And that's what they did before. Like one night I'm just watching TV. I'm not even going because, I take more days off now. And it's like, oh, okay. What happened? They just cut it off. I'm like, I'm not even on and you're cutting it off. They cut the cable off, cut the movies off. I'm like, oh, I'm not even broadcasting. You motherfuckers cutting this shit off. So you was anticipated. But this is the way all this works. That's okay. I understand. I'll deal with that. I ain't going to cry about it. It's just good to get, to get some of these words out here, to minds that are open, because you can't come on here and say, I come on here and bring a negative aspect or bring gossip, because there's a lot of things that we get exposed to, especially watching this stuff. That's, what does it really mean? What does it mean to you? What does it really mean to you? And why are you putting energy towards it, even listening to it? But we all want to be entertained. So it's a lot of time it's the presentation of how we are entertained. Like I was talking about Richard Pryor, again, all to be entertained. And just full spiritual development, how spiritual development just comes into people, and how you either grow or you can even become stagnant. Because I think that's really what kind of like and it wasn't, I can't necessarily say turned me off of Islam, but I just saw where at some point there was a stagnation to it. There was a stagnation to it. They say, yeah, he was in that Gronk commercial. He used to play for the Raiders with the Super Bowl being in their stadium. Kind of creepy, indeed. Yep. What's happening, Royal Bell? Just like attachments to painkillers. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but any kind of drugs too. And, other things like, again, cigarettes, nicotine is one of the hardest things to get off of. You can just do a simple, it was a simple test they did with rats where they had cocaine. The rat could have all the cocaine it wanted. It could have all the heroin it wanted, or it could have all the nicotine. And like, this is a bunch of them they studied, and all of them wanted the nicotine. When they had a free choice, when the rats had a free choice of what drug they could have, all of them would take nicotine until it killed them. So that just tells you, for mammals, it's, and a lot of people say it's the curse too. It's the curse of the tobacco, that, the curse against the Europeans, because a lot of Europeans, smoking was second nature. Like, that's what's funny about, the scene smoking going away, that it was such second nature. Like, people didn't smoke joints, like, other than being at home. And people, smoke weed in the house, but you didn't smoke weed outside. And remember, for those of you old enough to remember, and a lot of y'all, when y'all was little, you remember it was like one side smoking and one side wasn't. Like, they would put smokers in the back. Like the Chinese restaurant, they had expanded, and it was the back part of it where you could smoke. So if they's busy, I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going where people could smoke. And people were nasty when they could smoke in restaurants. They would use their ashtray as the food and shit. Y'all remember how nasty that used to be? See, use an ashtray, they'll use the food to put the ashtray out and in the food. That was so nasty. But breathing all that, in those confined spaces for the workers and everybody. And so that's but it was it was second nature. People smoked. It was such an accepted part of society. Like, as much as I read that book Foul about Connie Hawkins, I forgot that he said Connie Hawkins smoked. I knew Roger Brown smoked and George McGinnis. And these cats started smoking as teenagers. So you imagine by the time, the end of their careers. And then there's that picture of Lynn Dawson smoking at halftime or after the Super Bowl. This nigga's in his football equipment in the locker room, either before the game or halftime. This motherfucker, this is how ingrained smoking was. Foot tray is the ashtray. Yeah, food tray is the ashtray. Yeah, absolutely. Remember how nasty people used to be like that? You eating there and you motherfucker just, eat and fire up a square and shit. I mean, that's how it used to be. You still eating and the motherfucker sitting there smoking while you still eating. That's how nasty the world used to be. That wasn't good old days to be in restaurants. And they slowly got, like, even on a plane, motherfuckers, it was one time motherfuckers just smoke anywhere on the plane. Just anywhere. They could just, the back of the seats had ashtrays. Y'all, anybody remember that? The back of the plane seats had ashtrays. The ashtray was in the back of the seat. And you put the, you had where the tray and you had an ashtray in the back of the seat. You just fire up, and then they put them motherfuckers in the back of the planes. Yeah, that's how horrible. And then the smokers had to sit in the back. It was like in this closed thing, like the people in the front ain't affected by the back 10 aisles, so. And I later, got it. I later got what do you call this shit? My breathing isn't the greatest. I got that later in life. But my parents all smoked and smoked in the cars. My father had an Opel Buick, a little Opel 2-door, and he smoked more cigarettes. And we'd be in the car, he'd smoke it. Now, my mother quit smoking fairly early. My mother quit smoking, I want to say I was like in kindergarten. She quit smoking. Because when we moved from Cassopolis to Kalamazoo, she didn't smoke in Kalamazoo. She had already quit. Stepdad did, though. We'd be in our family room. This nigga would fire up a square and drink a Budweiser. That nigga would fire up a square and drink a Budweiser. And he sat in the same place on the couch. It was like, it's so funny. He had the same spot on the couch. Like, I sit all around I don't sit like the couch we have now. It's too low. We're getting a new one. We got to get the carpets cleaned again. Get this one to who's getting this couch, and bring in the new one. But it was that was how how he was wired. He had the same spot, ashtray right there where his beer, and he was like a Budweiser in a square. Come home from work, eat dinner, sit in his spot on the couch, have a Budweiser, and fire him up a square. And if we sitting in the room with him, hey, we getting exposed to that too. And I can't say how much my stepdad smoked in the car. I don't really remember. Can't really say. But my dad smoked longer and my stepdad ended up quitting, But it was so common. And when I moved to North Carolina where the cigarettes was made, man, it was hard meeting people that didn't smoke. I mean, it was, everybody smoked. And when you got the people who make the cigarettes made them in Greensboro. It used to be a little truck colored like a Newport. Who was I seeing? What is the dude? What is his name? Capone. This nigga had a gold chain of a Newport. It was a picture of a cigarette in his mouth, and this nigga had a Newport diamond out Newport pack on his chain. It's like the silly niggas that would wear the Newport clothes. You'd buy a short outfit with Newport clothes. I mean, how silly a motherfucker you got to be to wear some shit like that. But like to have your jewelry, you love smoking that much and you want to represent. Yeah, that's a little much. That's a little much. I don't know if I needed that. I really didn't. Oh, but yeah, the game is at 5:30 my time. Oh yeah, this is what we was talking about just the other day. Check this shit out. We was talking about this the other day. Biggest 24 snubs. Let's see. Antonio Gates. The exact words from the beginning of this article describe Antonio Gates. The undrafted tight end spent all of his 16 seasons with the Chargers, wrapped his career with 116 touchdowns, the most for any tight end in league history. His third most receiving yards in that position is only behind Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten. The former made it to Kenton in his first time. Gates didn't collect the same accolade. Gates and Chargers, they never won a Super Bowl, only blemish on his resume. Damian Thomas and Gates still propelled the San Diego Chargers to the championship playoff, a plethora of appearances. Gates is one of the best stories from college basketball at Kent State to undrafted free agent to a Hall of Fame career. His gift eventually until to his teammate Sean Marion speaks. Everyone's discuss. Wow. Reggie Wayne. Look at these numbers with Reggie Wayne. compared to the dude who made it. Look at Reggie Wayne's number. 14,000 yards. Reggie Wayne had more touchdowns, but they put Andre Johnson in. Wow. Not to mention Andre Bolton, Steve Smosins, and Ward Hayes. Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne were all named finalists. Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne, Terry Holt. Although there were multiple pass rushers selected class, the committee opted include just one receiver. And shows you his records, his stats were better. So how do you keep him out? The downside of Wayne Costume that he was the second fiddle to Marvin Harris for a large portion of his career doesn't stop those records there. When he did take over the alpha receiver, he delivered. Wow. Jared Allen, I'm not surprised Jared Allen didn't make it. Led the league in sacks twice. Exceeded Friendly in every metric. So he's a better player than Friendly. Wow. So, all the head games they play with people and when they want to put them in. Because that's all it is a matter of when. Hey, Jeffrey Lang, how you doing? Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Loud enough. Is this shit loud enough? But I'm still trying. I got to go into bed. I fall out. I'll be in here and I'll fall out and then they'll get a knock about, can you come lay down here there? Why did you lay down out there? I'm like, shit, I just came in here and seemed like I just fall out, go from this place to laying down over there. So I got to walk my ass to bed. Loud enough, just loud enough, but I'm still trying. I finally understood positive thinking and learning to actually manifest actually works straight up. You saw the picture I sent you. I think so. Let's check it out. Yeah, so you sent. Okay, yeah. I got all these pictures you sent me. Well, that's good. I mean, that is how it works. I mean, once you kind of turn it on, it keeps giving. And all you got to do is just connect to it. It's a lot of intricacies. You have to fill a lot of holes. You have to fill a hole so your boat sails smoothly. So, like I was saying, I'm still trying. Is it loud enough? Is my message loud enough? But I'm still trying. That's what it is. I'm still trying. I'm not trying to save anybody. I have to worry about me. Like he said, shine, shine, please save me. I'll give you more pussy than you could ever see. And he said to the captain's wife, pussy's good, but it don't last. First, I've got to save my own black ass. That's kind of the story. I ain't got time to save you. You got to save yourself. But I can give inspiration, and definitely positive thinking. Because that works better than negative thinking. Because you write the negative stories. I mean, that's definitely it. You write negative stories. I hung out with them for like 45 minutes on some bullshit. Okay, truly crazy. Okay. And you can truly live the world you want to live. And like it's a lot of it's not one thing. You start getting all these other things that become expected. It's like they want to expand relationships, and I guess that's not quite the word, but it's like everybody wants a little bit of your time. That's kind of what it becomes too. Because when people see the shine, everyone wants to be attached to it in any kind of way they could be. In any kind of way it can be. And it's like really, it's like the story of the person being locked in, where they're on Mars and the sun only comes up one time, and bullies lock the person in, into the sun comes out, and the bullies lock the little boy into the bathroom or a closet while they all go run out in the sunshine. So the little boy, that never experienced sunshine, he won't experience for a long period again. He misses it because of the bullies. He can only imagine what sunshine is. And so, it becomes that. So people see it and people want a piece of it. However it comes to them, they still want a little bit of it so they can be next to the shine. If you can dig what I'm saying. And so that becomes, not necessarily obstacles, but it becomes a part of the path. Part of the path. And I must say, the other night, taking my mother out, having a blast. I mean, we spent a grip, but, the picture of her and the young man, and I love that about the comedians. They came out, took pictures with people, and Trix did the same thing. And it was, and it's funny. Dude told a joke, and he said Ethiopians. Okay. Well, after the show, somebody went up to him and said, "No, it ain't Ethiopians. It's here Somalians. You was on Somalians." He said, "Oh, they Somalians." And so, so I know when he did his show this next time, because, he said Ethiopians, but he meant Somalians because he really didn't know. He just saw a lot of them. But he said they was cooking on the back of the plane and shit. But somebody hipped him. It's like, it ain't Ethiopia. So they can learn on the fly too. So, when he did his acts the next couple of times, he said Somalians, because that's what's majority here. Somalians. So he said they was cooking on the back. But I'm gonna say this, speaking of Somalians, and this is what they did when those people they brought over here. They set up most households with like 50 grand and automatic Section 8. Like one of the most beautiful buildings that used to be here. It's one really sweet apartment here. I think it was a 4 or 5 bedroom. It's on the 21st floor, but now the Somalian people have it as affordable housing. But this is one of the best views I've seen in this city, and it's somebody's apartment. I'm telling you where it sits. It sits off the Mississippi River. You can see the view east. I mean, it was breathtaking. I used to work in this building. And that's where they want to set up ghettos. And this building is easily a ghetto to put a bunch of them in because that's what they do. They want to put everybody together because it's easier to find you if they're looking for you. So, can you give you a good tips? Well, I mean, the best thing is, I guess the best way to go about it is you find out what you really need. I mean, you get to the point where you find out what do you really need, and what part of your life needs to be enhanced, and to do that, and I'm gonna use a little bit of the sister's energy and the way she puts it out, and I'll use a little bit of the sister that was on Brother Rich's channel and the way she put it out. I'll share a little bit of that. Like the way energy is. So she put it really, really the best. And sister, I'll watch that show again if it's still up and I'll get your name. But the way she put it is, okay, so it's like what's out there of the energy of something that you want. There's 180 degrees of energy out there. But what you want, that's the energy that's out there. And so really for you to manifest it, you have to put the other energy into it, the other 180 degrees of energy into it. So you have to make the two things. It's like this thing out there, and it's your want, and you have to make them come together. That forms the full circle. That's the best way I can say it. That's how she put it. My interpretation of saying how it's done. So you have to connect to the energy that is that thing that you want or that you want to manifest, because it has energy of its own. So you have to apply the energy off that thing and add that energy to you. But you have to find a way to go about doing that. And so I can't tell you any one way to do it. But once you see success, then expect success. Don't write the story of failure. Don't write the story of want. Because, like doing these shows and stuff, I look at clothes as adding to these shows. I kind of look at it that way. It's like, well, this is a fashion I can put together, and I look at what I can put together coming on here. So that's kind of how I look at clothes. They're not so much shoes, because you never see the shoes I wear, but just clothes in general, I was like, well, I can get to wear these at certain times. Plus this is the best. This is the best of all symbols of any team. This is the best one, and they're not getting rid of this one. So if I wanted a certain car, would I just have to work at a job for the energy, or also keep thinking about it as an example? Yeah, cars are. I mean, it just depends on what route you want to take. Like if you worked at your job long enough, you can always get credit to get a car. The interest rates and stuff. So that's what you got to consider. You got to look at your social economics as well, and which route you want to take to get it. But again, the car is energy, and the energy of just getting the deal done. I mean, do you have enough energy to bring in to make that deal happen? And again, it's like if you worked a lot, you've got the dough coming in. If you got steady dough coming in, you can always get a car. If you can show them 6 months of steady income, you can most of the time get a car. Again, it's getting the best interest rate too. And so it's just like being patient, being realistic about your budget, what you can afford, and study, look up and study the most you can about the type of car and what kind of flaws they have if you got to get them fixed, and can you afford to get them fixed, and and then you manifest, you put it all together. Because it's there. I mean, getting cars is easy in America. I mean, you can always get a car. It's, again, the interest rate. Can you get a good deal? That's the part of it too. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a shame, and this is really a shame because this is like more recent. It's like, you can't get a car. It was a time where you could just get a car that would drive you around town for $500, and it might last you a couple of years. Just keep getting it fixed. And those days are over. Now you got to pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to get a car like that. And then again, it's no guarantee how long it'll work. My car, I need to fix it, but it's like, obviously, my car has 180 some thousand miles. So the flaw in the car obviously didn't stop the car from running, but it still does need to repair. And so I'm weighing out the same thing to get another car, just repair this one. So, yeah, but you can always get a car. And a car, ain't nothing to fall in love with. They're just tools. Get what you can afford. They all do the same thing. They all do the same thing. They do the same thing, get you the same way. I mean, weather has something to do to it too, and you want to have decent tires. So that's the thing too. You want to have decent tires, but my car was fairly inexpensive. It wasn't that expensive, not considering. And that's, like now we're not going to move. We're going to stay here. I mean, we could have moved. We could have kept this place and moved, but it's like, no, really. I think it's better not moving. I think I'd rather just stay here for a while. I love this spot. We're centered to everything. And so, man, right now this is okay too. Like my man said, I can make right now all right. I can make right now all right, if you can dig, And like I've said so many times, don't write these negative stories, because that's what we do. If you're a worrier, you write stories. I would even say anxiety, you start writing a story, because it's a feeling. I even know, with me, it's the breathing thing that I get anxiety from. But it's still a feeling that mentally, like even me not wanting to get in the MRI machines is, me creating the story and creating the fear and not wanting to sit there being confined. Again, if you're the Monkey King, you don't want to be in confined again, so I think that's where I get that kind of confinement, and that steel trap thing is like too much like a steel mountain trap. But again, it's, self-created, because I've done it before, but it's self-created now. It's like, yeah, you're not sticking me in the sucker now. So But doubt, fear, a lot of that is just self-created. And that's what you have to get over. That's what you have to control. Write the correct story for yourself. And write the way you want it to manifest. And we slip up, we slip up from time to time, but for the most part, if you put enough energy into yourself, it's not hard to get on a roll. Really not. And that's what you want, it to always move. You always want the energy moving. Yeah, that Brother Rich thing, that sister, what she said, the way to bring energy in, that was helpful. I don't know if I could clip a little bit of that. But it was right on. It was definitely right on how energy works for you. And that's why, when I sometimes it's like good to hear other ideas of how you can put it together. And not really copying the work. It's just saying, okay, I can tell people themselves how to, a little easier, because sometimes, you just don't have like, how can I tell you how to do this easy? And it's like, I didn't really have the answer. She kind of put away where it makes it a little easier to connect energies. And that's good advice, And so I give her all the credit, no doubt. And that's just, having a positive energy, positive, like self-love, like you really do have to have a lot of self-love. And I say, over and over again, as you get older, what they take away from you, because too many of us get older and we don't understand and know ourselves. And, they want to bring that whiteboard in, because that's what that dementia shit is. It's a whiteboard. That's what they replace it with. They replace it with white. And, I don't know which one is scarier, the whiteboard or they all, that shit, that other shit, they all just, it goes away. Kind of looked at both of them. That whiteboard is scary, but that's what that dementia shit is. It's a whiteboard kind of thing. That's what they start filling the gaps with, is just white. And so that's the fight, is to fight that whiteboard. So the black still comes in. 'Cause that whiteboard is where, if like you looked at Neo, when Neo went to the train place and was locked. That's what they want to do with that dimension. They want to lock you into 40-year-old memories, not be here now. Because that's where the consciousness stays alive, and being here now. So, is there a way to lose being able to manifest things? I always keep thinking that, you are doing it and might just stop. Are you always flying but scared? I mean, I guess in all life there's ebbs and flows. Manifesting definitely can be a flow. I mean, like they say, know when to know them, know when to fold them, know when to hold them. Read the life, because life is it's like a snake. And so just with the snake, you hold on when you're falling down, and when you go back up, you lead. And remember, the top of the snake is even too. And so instead of going to ebbs and flows, you can just go from hump to hump to hump to stay on top. And that's kind of one of the flows you can do too. You ain't got to go in the under. You can just stay on top. But like the video games show you, you got to time it to go from hump to hump to hump to stay on top. That's that too. And look at timing is everything too. The timing is definitely everything. So look at your timing and look at the timing around you, everything you do. Like I always talk about, you ain't always got to go through every light. Sometimes you do, but you don't always have to. Sometimes you need to slow down because it's trying to tell you something up there that you're going to let pass by. I watched Groundhog Day the other day, and the movie has a lot of truth drops. Yeah, it's like a type of lock too. You can be put in a lock. That's what the replay is. You can even look at Groundhog Day as reincarnation. You can look at it as reincarnation. Netflix had that chick that played in what was it called, American Pie. She has a raspy voice, the redhead chick, and she was on a on a show. And what was interesting about that show, what was different is the longer the groundhog effect was, people started and shit started disappearing. It's like the more she kept doing it, the things around her reality kept being less and less. And they didn't give that another season, but that was an interesting part of it, and it never showed how they solved it because they canceled the show. But I thought that was kind of deep, that show, because that show was basically bet, but it was like the longer she was in the loop became less and less and less. The loop started going away. So, and that's the kind of loop that they put you in. But it also tells you to pay attention to details, because as he goes on, he notices things that you can predict, and it's the same way. You can see kind of things, and it's like, oh, okay, that I can stay away, or that is something that I'm sorry, my allergies. I don't do cocaine. Like, this nigga's doing cocaine on it. No, I'm the last one to do cocaine. Someone said Bill Murray was in the loop for over 1,000 years. I guess some people could be punished. You see all these old pictures that look like folks today. So I guess people can be punished like that. Like, I saw the dude from Thailand that was 130 years old. He looked like he was locked. He didn't enjoy being 130. And again, like the example was the Mississippi, or the brother I saw that was in World War II that was 112. That's funny. Okay, so my mother's friend, her dad was 100 and some years old. He was 102 and 103. And I met him. I was so excited to meet him. And I was like, hey, how you doing? And he looked at me and he said, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. And they put this old dude in whatever he was in, I forget, but they let him walk on the field before he passed, because this old dude just passed, but they gave him a new uniform and let him walk on the field because, he was 100 years old. He was the oldest serviceman alive in Minnesota. But I went just like, hey, good. And he had got sauced up a little bit, so he's a little buzzed. He had a couple drinks. But he said, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. But and like, the dude I put on some of my thumbnails, that dude that lived 200 some years old, he joined the army at 70 and was teaching motherfuckers how to kill other motherfuckers. So, his first 100 years was like he was still in his 20s, 30s. And, of course, we don't get to live the natural life he lived. But what we can take from that is we can study him and what he ate and what he did. And if we can recreate that, we see that we can live just as long. Like now they're coming out and saying, you got to get that water out them bottles. Let that shit sit. Because just drinking out of these bottles ain't that good for you either. You got to take them out these bottles and let that water sit. Treat them with something. That's why I got Sugarite. Put that Sugarite in them. Break that plastic down, because that's, that plastic ain't that great. And that's the only way because they tell you can't really drink the water where you live anymore. You can't really drink it. So, how long have I been going? Oh, I'm 3 hours. Damn, I'm 3 hours. I feel good. Tomorrow, yeah, I'll come on after the Super Bowl. Well, if I go during the day, will I do today and tomorrow night? Probably not. I'm going to try to come on during the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is 5:30. I'm going to try to go live by 5:30. So yeah. Take my I got to look for that shit now, my stand to hold the phone. I'm not holding this motherfucker talking to y'all. Oh, 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 oh. Like, I just have fun with life. I am joyful almost all the time. Now I'm grumpy, and like my wife said, yeah, sometimes you do get on my nerves and bullshit you be saying and some other bullshit, but for the most part, I'm loving every minute of it. Oh, gold is still holding. 3 hours later, gold is still holding at 238. Yeah, it's unchanged. No, it's 38, 2038 and 70. So it went up. I think it was 60. So still, you over 2,000, y'all. So your gold chain is worth a lot more if you got in a position where you got to sell it. On the other hand, if you want to trade it and to get more, it's a good time to trade it because you can get more. So if you got it, have had your gold for a few years and you want to trade up, it's a great time to trade up. You'll get good deals on trading up. I mean, my wife's freaking ring is just magnificent. Her rings is just so magnificent. And, you know, she deserves it. She deserves it. She deserves it. But for the most part, you know, we're joyful people. You know, I'm a joyful person. And I try to put a positive message on how we all, you know, are pretty much supremes. You know, again, it's all on you. And, you know, like Reverend Ike said, you know, you got to open up with the God power in you. It's always in you. You know, that's why you don't put anything, you know, outside of you. It's you. You know, they try to confuse you and say, I am. Well, no, it's not I am, it's you. That's their way of saying it's the power in you. You are the power. You are the individual. Jimi Hendrix said it, you know, this is my life. So let me live my life the way I want to. You know, this is your chance of consciousness and what consciousness you have built over these years. Because your consciousness grows. Your awareness grows. Your knowing, all this comes together and grows. That's what maturity should bring. Experience. I mean, that's what a fool is. A fool is doing the same thing over and over again, you know, the insanity thing. Knowing that, you know, you're gambling on the outcome. That's still a fool. You know, you're gambling on the outcome. You know, that's still a fool. If you're even gambling, you know, you don't have to gamble on it. You can connect to that energy of what you want to manifest easier than gambling on it. You know, you just bring all the energy together that matches it. You lift your energy up to get what you want. You match that energy. You bring it out of you. And again, you know, timing is the same thing. You see when all of it is flowing for you. I mean, think about how when you got your job, how it set everything up. Or whatever you tried to do. Just think how you know, like, but your job is the easiest thing I could say, or even buying a car or buying a house. Think of all that you had to do to get these, wherever you guys are staying right now. Think of all the steps you had to take to even get to where you're staying. And a lot of that you had to manifest to put all that together. But think about what you had to do at first to sit in that place where you sitting. You ain't just like say, hey, I want to go sit over there. Come on over. You know, you had to do steps. You had to put all the energy together to get it, right? You had to have some imagination. Because without imagination, I mean, that's again, that's what they want to kill. That's why they want you, you know, to put your imagination in other things. And I'll say that's the only knock on video games. That's the only knock on these new goggles coming out. Is again, you know, like you know, when you really, like I've said before, and I don't know if you want to say master or whatever you call it, but like you should be at a point if you're really serious where you can do that with your third eye. Like everything that machine does, like the natural things that we need, the natural applications that we need, the spiritual applications that we need is right there. And the same experience putting them goggles on, you can have that with your third eye, just blowing it open and using your imagination with it. And this is practice. This ain't like one day you just do it and it just takes practice. You got to understand what you're seeing, what kind of fractals that you live in. That's when they tell you, you know, where you come from. That's part of it. It's like, what fractals have you been seeing? Like people get caught up on the numbers, but it's like when you get into your third eye, it's more fractal patterns that tell you where home is. It tells you where you're going to go, that you can start visiting now. because that's how it all comes to you. It's patterns, and you see the patterns come into you. And then the view becomes so clear to you at certain times. It's like, okay, you can really get into it. It's like, oh. But that's how it comes to each of us. And so I'm not saying don't enjoy these machines, but I'm saying, like, have your spiritual side, work with it enough, put it in play enough, put it in motion enough to understand that it's more than just what that can give. It's more the apps that they put that together. You can put it together. You can, take your spirituality as far as you want to take it, whatever level you want to take it, but you got to put effort in it too. It's just like playing a video game. You got to put effort in it. It's not just something that naturally comes. It comes with effort and effort and imagination. I mean, think about like how animation and comic books have now. Why do you think it's so prevalent? Because the people that read these books and used their imagination are empowered now to make it seen on a real screen. So they're using their imagination, their interpretation of what they studied 30, 40, 50 years ago, and now putting a new spin on it in live action instead of it just using the imagination of the book or the anime. Giving a real life look at how this is put into real life is what they're trying to, show you. And like if you really get into how ancient people moved, it becomes obvious, how they moved. Again, they didn't have to talk. You didn't even have to be next to a person to communicate. You could just see them. I mean, to be able to masterfully create these beautiful kind of skulls, the crystal skulls, for an example. I mean, there was intelligence there to create these kind of things, to build these gigantic sculptures that can't even be duplicated. And as we see in these kind of heads, they couldn't really even destroy them. They tried to destroy these things. They tried to bury them and destroy them. Couldn't destroy them. This is some of the hardest stuff there is. And so the work and sophistication that it took to bring all that there is was so much easier for them to work with these things. So where did that technology go? And they tell you you're dumber because they tell you that 50 years ago they could go to the moon. But they lost all the ways to tell you how to get there now. So doesn't that show you that you're stupider? Doesn't that show you that in some ways we're stupider? These motherfuckers say they could go to the moon, but they can't do it again. They's like, oh, y'all stupid. We could do it. We had some sisters in the basement that figured it out. That's all a joke, And now you guys don't believe we did it. Well, no, you fooled us. You showed us some movies and television, special effects, you fooled us. They wanted to make you think that space shuttle was really a plane that went up in space. Why don't they have one that can still do it? Because it wasn't quite what they told you what it was. And so here we are. Is how do we now look at all this? How do we apply it to everyday life? That's the thing about philosophy and stuff, is how do you apply it to life? Like, how do you apply timing and rhythm, and knowing and consciousness to be successful in your everyday life? It's not a very easy thing sometimes. Because, again, it can be very complicated when you're off your energy and you can't make the energy whole, or you can't add what energy it takes to fulfill what you're trying to do. You have to start again. And, you know, again, timing and timing. And keep trying. It's like poking in a hole. One day it goes in. We should have colonies on Mars. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that space shit. I don't know. That space shit is some of the most doubtful sounding shit there ever was. I don't know. I listen to that shit and it's I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine some of that stuff. I mean, why is the emphasis so much and not just, you know, curing the things on this planet? Why is it so much about these spacemen? Which is, you know, really another indication or another part of the ocean. You know, that's kind of what they're trying to tell you too. It's that we know there's an ocean below us, but if you notice, everything that's doing with the planes and stuff is a lot like, you know, the way you operate in the ocean, especially space. What they're saying is space, which, you know, they know very, very little about. I mean, I've said before, like, you can go up there and be free of this whatever this is. You can experience that. But there's a vastness what's behind that. This shit you can't even comprehend. I mean, to approach a planet, whatever the planet is, you can't even approach it because some of this shit is so big that you can't even approach it. It's like you'd be dust. So, like, how would you take, you know, you have to even understand how you take your consciousness in something like that. I mean, you almost have to be kind of invited where they create it, where you can understand it. You know, the stories where they say the aliens like have to, you know, have something where you can understand them is absolutely. And these planets are the same way. You have to have a way to connect to really being able to communicate with that planet. And so that takes a lot of study and trying, you know, when the planet is and that's a part of stargazing, you know, and I'm not one to, you know, look at star charts, but I just know, you know, with my own and being able to connect to Jupiter really took a lot of years of just, you know, night watching for sure, you know, and meditating and being out there. And it took, you know, a number of years to be accepted and then being able to get the communication. Because, you know, if you try to approach something like that as dust, I mean, you can't approach it. But if you approach it in different ways, and then all of a sudden it seems to have a way that you can communicate with it, and that you can experience whatever it is. No matter what it is, the idea of it, you could still, there's an energy there you can still connect to that you can experience. So that's the best way I could put it. So, and that's what it appears to be, that all of them you have to kind of, you know, all of them. All the planets, you have to, and even the sun and the moon is the same way. You have to try to tap into the energy that each of them are. So that's why, you know, the people they talk about that live on the equator, you know, that don't eat, and, you know, all they do is sun gaze in the morning and at night. That's all they need. And that's, you know, that's, yeah, like we're just like the plants. I mean, what makes flesh have to eat, you know? And they make you think that, you know, that flesh has to eat other flesh to survive, when we know that, you know, flesh can survive on the plants and the plants here. So, and the man who lived, you know, 200 some years old, it doesn't seem like he was eating, you know, meat. He was eating natural herbs and shit. And probably fish and birds, probably. But, you know, we live in different times. You know, we don't live in the times of that. We live in the times of, and this is where, you know, I do believe with the Gipper up in Pennsylvania, it's like sometimes you got to look at some of this shit and say it really don't matter. And that's the almost way you have to tackle food sometimes. It's like, what does it really matter? But it doesn't hurt to be intelligent about eating too. And the way you move, you know, your movement. I mean, these things can't hurt you, you know. I mean, it's just a common sense way of looking at some of this stuff. It's like, you know, if you know this shit is all fucked up, you try to stay away from the shit that's the most fucked up, right? Doesn't that make sense? It's like, oh, that is some bullshit. Like, you see Cheetos and you know this shit ain't food. You're looking at this shit that's being sold as you can consume it, but you look at it and you know it's not food. Captain Crunch, as good as it is with milk, it is not food. Some shit they just put some shit in and, you know, but not really food. Not real. Not food that's good for you. You know, drink a Coca-Cola, how old are you? To drink some soda, how old are you? Like, think about that. Like, a soda has, this is a 12-ounce glass, 12-ounce bottle, has 20 grams of salt. This much fucking salt in it, or sugar, excuse me. This much. Every time you drink a soda, you're getting this much. You're getting almost 22 grams of pure sugar. And sometimes not even sugar. You're getting that fructose bullshit. That's why you get the Mexican Coke, it's real. At least you're getting real sugar. American Coke give you that fructose bullshit. Let me see. I would imagine that they had connected several submarines and made them to mega ships to go into space, under space, in the water. Definitely using submarines turned into the Enterprise. Well, possibly, yeah. And they're both kind of the same thing. Yeah, the ocean is the same way. They ain't conquered the ocean. That's the two places they ain't conquered. And as I said, the Popeye Vol told you, 1,000 years ago, there's water in the oceans. And these motherfuckers, what did they tell you? When I was in school, they told you it was a hot crystal in the middle of the world. First, they said it's just some iron ore. And so it changes. So these motherfuckers that they're supposed to be experts, and now they tried to drill, and the more they drilled, the more they found water. So that's what stopped them from drilling, is the water. And they're like, well, there's oceans under there, and we don't know how to quite get through them. Remember when they went to say Godzilla? With no oceans or nothing. But remember, what was it, Aquaman 1, they was able to bust through. Remember that? Get through the ocean and get to the land on the other side of the ocean, of the inner world ocean. Godzilla didn't even have that. It was easy to go to whatever they was in the inner earth. It wasn't that hard. And that one Godzilla. So, the world knows how to keep men away from it if it wants to, because they don't know what's in this ocean. They don't even know, like they say it's aliens and shit in Lake Erie. They don't even know if really these motherfuckers still driving around the Loch Ness Monster and see if that motherfucker's in there and shit. Like, Loch Ness, are you in there? I mean, they don't have a command over all the water. They definitely don't have command of the oceans and the glaciers and whatever the fuck is in the Antarctica. They don't have command over that. So that's why they mostly stay away from it. And they definitely want you to stay away from it. Oh my goodness. Don't necessarily want to drink another beer and don't feel like going downstairs to get one. Was it 3:30? Yeah, I don't need another beer. What have I been going on? Oh man, almost 3.5 hours. Okay, so I'm hitting it. I'm still hitting it. Okay, I'll hit it for a little while longer. All right, I'll get it all. I got about 10 more minutes, and I got the munchies. I need to go get some munchies and munch. But anyway. And so that's why whatever you do to feed your imagination is so important. And be it anime, be it video games, I mean, you got to find a way to really feed your imagination, because this helps your knowing. It helps your consciousness, but your knowing, your awareness. And then, you try to start meditating, start clearing your mind. And the steps that it takes to really, be a supreme consciousness, I guess, is the best way I can put it. Or higher, always, find where you can raise it, keep raising it, keep raising it. It's like, your vibration, I guess, and to stay in that high vibration. I guess that's a easier way to put it, is how to stay in a high vibration. And it's not, it has nothing to do with being perfect. It's just the way you go about doing things. It's how you vibrate. because, you know, the energy, you always want the energy that you're creating is being balanced. And so even the way you vibrate is highs and lows, you vibrate into the, you know, what you're experiencing at the time. What's your what's my go-to when I get the munchies? I'll drink a beer to keep me from eating, but I got cashews. I like roasted, non-salted cashews. Now, my daughter likes chips, and I'll fuck some chips up, but they're not good for you, so I try not to buy them. And I always keep grapes. So I always keep grapes. Does having money on them or getting money cause a person to change their confidence, like just having it around you or carrying it? Well, now, you know, money is on card, so you don't even got to carry money anymore. You know, it's like, and jewelry don't really mean money, you know, it's accessories. That's how I look at it. It's like when you do get more money than what you're used to, it's good to stay in the same habits. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, because you just don't, like, when you have money, you can go through a lot of money when you have it. I mean, it's amazing sometimes how much money you go just to go out. I mean, it's amazing how much you can spend. It's truly amazing. Just to entertain, take someone on their birthday, or you can spend a lot of bread. And so you still have to be practical about it. And, you know, times we're not. So that's the biggest thing about having it. I mean, if you like just carrying cash, a lot of places don't carry cash. But like I used to always, I used to be in the habit of always carrying a wallet. And I mean, I would just have a wallet that I'd just be, you know, force that motherfucker to shut. I used to carry so much cash. So, and, you know, I only tried to get robbed one time and I stopped them from robbing me, you know. So that's the only time I ever got robbed was when I stopped them. Defeated two people that, you know, one dude had a gun on me and still stopped him. So, yeah. And shit, then I probably didn't even have a lot of money. I probably had $500, but I had about a pound of weed. But it's the energy, the same, cash or having it on the card. I mean, when you have, it's the same. It's the same. I mean, like all of y'all know, like you know, what do they say when it hits your direct deposit? You know, the energy you get from when it hits your direct deposit. You know, when you get that chime or whatever you got, hits your direct deposit, be like, oh, you know, they sprinkle me. I'm like, oh, okay, they sprinkle me. So it's the same feeling. You know, the eagle flying. That's the better thing about getting paid all the time, you know, is the eagle flies all the time. So, yeah, that's the good thing about having multi-streams of money where money just, you know, can come in different kind of ways. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So, you know, it's however you feel, but it's like the card is the same way. It gives you the same kind of energy. That's the way they want to push the current, you know. They're trying to take the cash out because of the way to really change. I mean, they've almost eliminated giving change, you know. And they did try to eliminate it. Remember COVID, there was people, you know, they tried to eliminate change. They just want you mostly with dollars now. And not even dollars, just cards. Those astronauts that got blown up in the shuttle were crisis actors. They showed them at older age. Yep. Yeah, they sprinkled. Yeah, definitely. Jim McNair and all them. They did show them that it was, and because they did it again, they blew up two of them, and that's, you know, and I think they blew them up because they were limited machines. That's why I think they blew up the shuttles. Because I had just met Ron McNair. I had just met him before I moved to Michigan, and then, you know, they died while I'm watching. Yeah, they died while I'm watching when I had met the cat, because Ron McNair went to A&T. One of the buildings is named after him. I think he has a bust on campus. And, you know, so he had a bust on campus before he got blew up. So before he got blew up, he had a bust on campus and the science building named after him before he got blew up. So, but I think they blew him up just to show you they were limited, because they were nothing but planes. High altitude planes that they've always had. So nothing new. So, those astronauts had, the Challengers. Yep, the shuttles in the 80s, indeed. Yeah, it was bullshit. But it's, the shuttle, why didn't they ever have a shuttle that could go to the moon? Like what stopped them from going to the moon? That's what people expected, that the shuttle was the next step to go to the moon. Because you use the same Nazi rockets. Every time you see one of them rockets, you got to think of the Nazis. Them Nazi rockets, they still want you to think that that's the technology, the Nazi rockets that blow you up in the air. That's the Nazi stuff. The Nazis didn't lose. They just changed. Is that the Gipper connected on some things, and what exactly? I think, like what he says, I'll say this, like with him, I think he's a little racist. I've kind of got that out. But other than that, I think he's a mean and well cat. When he goes through the fireplaces and shit, the cat means well. I see that as saying that, if we ever have to go this technology, this is something that works. And that's, again, I think that's good-hearted. I do. The reality thing is this a simulation? It doesn't solve. If it is, you still have to react to it. So, just blanketing everything, saying it's a simulation, well, you still have to react to it. It's that kind of thing where you still got to interact with it. So just saying that you're this higher mind over the simulation is silly. Because it's saying that you're away from it, but you're actually interacting with it constantly. And it's, like it's like we're on something that was really natural, but something's hijacked what's natural. And so what would be natural is the planet, but there's no guarantee that we're really on a planet. From the simple fact is what the body that we live on, it was easy for others to manipulate that. I mean, that's kind of, it's like I was saying, that the planet is so big, there's a lot of different ways to manipulate what's on that given body. Like even when you get into, the older beings that was on this planet when the planet was just oil. And then what they never needed land. It's like when the land came, they moved off, they moved up. Because they was always part of the atmosphere. It was like what they created was with the oil and with the atmosphere. And so once the land came up, they was the first that didn't need to live on the land. They lived where they still are. And this is what, they refer to as some gods, as the beings that live on this but didn't need to live on the land. They didn't need the land. They didn't need the water. They could live just around the planet. And then you got, the age of the tree. And the Papa Eval, again, is the only one that talks about people created from the trees, but they don't really give you the full story. And it wasn't that all the tree people actually had to get destroyed. It wasn't that. The tree people end up even having to, after the war, the tree people end up having to be on the land. Because they had destroyed them original trees. The trees that went into space was destroyed. And so it forced the people that lived in the trees, the wood people, to live on the land, along with the original or the smaller beings that inhabited the planet as well. And that's why they talk about the giants and shit. It was just the people that was forced out of the trees, or the beings that came from the trees. And what they didn't realize is once these beings lived on land, that's where the giant people come from. They were bigger than the ground dwellers, as appears what they called them. And so, it's like, we don't know what period even all this is, like what period in the development of all this consciousness is. And, it goes back into saying, if the planet is so strong, why isn't the planet stopping them? Well, because, the planet has to give the thing energy too, that trap us into whatever it traps us into. So the planet has evolved a little bit. But to answer your question, it's like all that about the way you deal with reality. Okay, you have to understand that you still have to interact. And that goes into what I was saying about, the way you can manifest and stuff too. Because, it's very bland if you just say that everything is fake, and it's just, because that takes away the magic too. That takes away your own magic, saying, because you can't have magic and that can change this. This reacts to your magic too. And so what it is you can change it also. I mean, small changes in this you can have great benefits from just small changes, but we can change this too. So it's not just something we're on a roller coaster and we can't change. We can change. And so, so adaptation. So, what is the higher self in your opinion? Does it exist? And if my higher self just controlling my game? Well, I mean, it really does start with knowing yourself. That's the only way you can really get to, and it's not really higher versions of yourself, but the higher vibration of yourself. Because the idea of you vibrates at a certain pace. And it's like, okay, this is the best way I could tell you. It's like I show you my hand, but if you can imagine, like my hand is vibrating and you see multiple hands. And this, I'm not talking about, multiple dimension. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is you can look at your hand, and if you start seeing multiples of my hand, but in the back of seeing multiples of my hand, you see a thicker hand. So you see all these lighter images of 3D like hands, but they lighter, but in the back of it, it's the thick hand. If you can understand that. And so that's where your higher self would be. Is despite all these layers on top, you get into what's the base of what is you. And I mean really the base of what is you. And you really look at yourself and you know yourself. And you look at yourself and say, this is me, and I understand what I am and the decisions I make. I try to be better at certain things. And so where am I at my best? Especially my spiritual best. Can I ever touch that? And yeah, you can. And you can live it almost too, because it's, yourself. And that's, I can't emphasize that enough, that you know yourself, and only through knowing yourself can you vibrate enough to be that hand in the back of all these other layers. Because I think, thinking about a movie that kind of showed it was like in Riddick. Remember the sister that, she could kind of ghost across? But when you saw her, when she wasn't ghosting, she was at her higher self. She was at her most, wisdom self. But remember how she could, in Riddick, she could turn herself when she walked. She could, spread herself a little thin. And even, the dude that Riddick kills, he was a second ahead. So, it was like he was able to move so quick where his lower self was what you actually saw. But where he could move in space-time was his higher self. And remember, Riddick used that against him because Riddick knew the way he would move. But he was using his higher self to move, and it was his lower self that was governing. But when he needed some action, he turned into his higher self. He could vibrate and move higher. To give an example of how you could turn into your higher self. That's just, kind of giving you an idea of how that happens and how you run with it. Well, I think I'm at 3 hours. Yeah, I'm almost 4. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. I hope you can use this. I tried to philosophize a little more than just talk about football, but even football goes back to the sacred ball game, and it's not just winning and losing. It can be healing. It is a healing place. A gym is a healing place just by the energy that was in the gym. The game is played to heal others, and the competition is for everybody to get into that energy for healing. They have it so much in winning and losing, but that's not all it is. It is a supreme place for healing. So enjoy tomorrow. I got the 49ers. I was able to give up only 1.5. So man, that 2.5, I couldn't see it. So I gave up the 1.5. So if they win by 1, 2, I win. So, but it's gonna be fun, and I'll come on tomorrow and try to break down some play. So yeah, everybody be safe. If you're watching the game, please go somewhere where you don't have to drive if you drink, where you can at least sit and sober up. Go over there early if you want to drink early by the time, you eat, or just, it's Lyft, it's all that out there. You ain't got to drive. So be safe, and